try, and hopefully there would be a duel later on. So in considering that, we would be going for the bowling first.
And what is a target that you are willing to chase on this track?
Anything below 180 would be the good total to chase on.
And of course,
we have a good batting lineup actually. Though we have chased like 200 last match, 200 plus, so we are confident enough to get to chase any runs on the track. So wickets there is like it's look dry. There is would be nothing. No seam would be not be there. So hopefully the wicket will be stay as it is.
any changes to the playing 11?
Yeah, we have 3 changes actually. Imran is coming back, and what is that? Anuj is going to play today, and Vaibhav Singh is going to play today.
Best of luck for the game,
Thank
Yasir.
you so much. Thank you.
Tashveen, let's have a brief chat. Unfortunately, you've lost the toss, but if you had won it, what would you have done?
We would have also bowled first, considering the dew factor that comes later in the game. It becomes difficult for the spinners to grip the ball. So we would have also bowled first, but toss is not under control. So yeah, we'll try to put a good score on the board. It's difficult to set a good score, but I think any score anywhere in the range of 200 would be, I think, good for us.
And of course, you've played 3 matches, lost 2, won 1. The batting has been clicking, but the bowling, apart from you and a couple of other guys, slightly struggling.
Yeah, bowling has been an issue for us. So in the last game also, we were short of, I think, 2 bowlers. So we brought in Adil. He's a good fast bowler in place of Atif Javed Bhatt. And Uzairman is also in for Mohammad Hassan. So he can also bowl.
Power pack side. Best of luck for the game, Tashveen.
Thank you.
Right then, news from the centre is that Emirates NBD have won the toss and they have elected to bowl first.
Ahmed Khaja, as always, with the right questions to the right people. And the result from the toss was that Emirates NBD Cricket Club won the toss and they elected to bowl first. Tashveen Yassin there for Dubai Gymkhana at the toss, but they'll be led by Waqas Ahmed Khan along with Aslam Shehzad to open the batting. Tashveen Yassin, their opening bowler, will also be part of that squad. Ahmed, a look at the Emirates NBD team.
Good evening, Samir Yunus. Good evening, everyone watching at home. Live action from the Arabian Cricket League, and let's run through the lineup for NBD as well. Mohammad Yasir, the skipper. Mohammad Shahir, wicketkeeper and player of the match of the previous game. Mohammad Imran, Santosh Pillai, Hamad Ahmed, Anuj Thakur, Vaibhav Singh, Akhlaq Haider, Mubashir Bukhari, Charuka Raveen, and Lahiru Malwatta completes their playing 11. And Dubai Gymkhana, very familiar names now. It's their 4th match of the ACL. They've won 1, lost 2. So they desperately need the 2 points from this game. And big news for them is that Uzair Haider, their player of the match, is back in the playing 11. And of course Mohammad Adil, the young exciting fast bowler as well. Should be a very well contested game.
Indeed, we look forward to one. As always, Arabian League has produced a lot of exciting cricket over the past few nights, and we hope that tonight too is another one of those.
Right then, the 2 Gymkhana openers are out there in the middle. And on the right of your screen, you can see Emirates NBD looking very sharp in dark blue and yellow. Final team talks, and the 2 umpires in the middle, 2 very familiar names. Umpire Vipin Singh in the background, you can see there, all ready to go, and Shami maybe on the extreme left of your screen. 2 high quality umpires, and good to see the ICCA Academy bringing out the big names in the domestic umpiring scene. I'm really looking forward to this contest. It'll be a cracker of a game. So it's going to be the skipper of Emirates NBD, Mohammad Yasir. marking out his run-up, and Syed Ashar Hussain, regular opener for Dubai Gymkhana. Uzair Haider back in the side and back up top. He's a powerful striker of the ball, Samir, as we saw in the previous game.
Yeah, he'll have to contend with that early assistance that fast bowlers do get here. Not a surprising decision. In fact, most teams have wanted to bowl first here, make use of those conditions that the ICCA Academy provides. And with that nice shiny head of his, Mohammad Yasir will open the bowling for Emirates NBD Cricket Club. When he was wearing the cap, I was wondering if he's going to remove it or not and show it to us. Right then, first ball of this. Oh, nice little shape inwards, and they do still cross over for a single. So, little loose there, the fielders.
Yeah,
Shouldn't have been one.
Mid-on was asleep there. Mohammad Yasir needs to give him a bit of a look, even though he looks a very pleasant gentleman. Plenty of smiles at the toss. Why not when you've played one and won one? But this man will make a lot of smiles disappear for Emirates NBD. Uzair Haider, he's a six-hitter and one of the premier power play specialists in the UAE. Watch out for this lad. Don't be deceived by his looks and those spectacles. He's a very dangerous player. Right then, Mohammad Yasir, what have you got in store for us? First ball, nice little inducker. Solidly behind it, squeezed away to point. Dot ball.
Well, speaking of looks, the green helmet and those specs remind me of a certain Pakistani cricketer, Imam ul Haq. Although this guy is a right-hander over there.
He's been in fabulous touch, making hundreds for fun in ODI cricket. Not quite made the leap in the shortest format, but certainly has the raw materials. And so does this Emirates NBD side, especially their wicketkeeper Mohammad Siraj. Fantastic performance in the previous game.
It's always a challenge making the change between formats. When you're regularly playing between formats, you always have to make that extra adjustment. Good players, they're able to do that. Leading edge might have gone straight to the fielder. So lucky there, Uzair Haider. Not 100% convincing that shot from him. Played a little too early for his liking. Luckily for him, the point was deep enough.
Yeah, that was slightly out of control for sure. And like you mentioned, he was early on the shot. So they have to be slightly watchful against Yasir. Very good start so far, right on the money. He's not too quick, but quite accurate. Swings it from well outside off. The ball lands in the right areas.
Oh.
Big shot on the leg side. There's nobody at deep square. And even if there were, forget about it. It's a maximum.
Yeah, he's seen that ball come in now a couple of times. He's looked at the possibilities of going down that leg side. The moment was a little too straight from Mohammad Yasir. Uzair Haider lived up to his reputation that you made for him so far, Ahmed.
He made that look easy as you like. He made it look so easy, even I think I can do it. Look at that sailing away. Right outside the ICCA Academy nets. Big shot. And he's immediately underway.
That's one way to get off the mark with the big six. Mohammad Yasir now under pressure. He'll want to finish his over well.
Sliced over the covers. Not quite in control. But that big bat he has in his hand makes sure it crosses the boundary rope. Uzair Haider is underway.
We'll talk about being watchful. He's just watchful for the first couple of deliveries, and after that he's just gone aggressive. One on the leg side, one on the off side, and suddenly it's 11 off this over and still one ball to go.
He's not much for footwork, but that bat speed and raw power that he has, it compensates for a lot. And Mohammad Yasir, well, the only thing I could perhaps criticize him for is he needs to mix it up here. He's being a bit predictable, and you can't do that against Uzair Haider in this form. Fuller and bashed over extra cover. One bounce over the rope.
Was there to be hit full on that fourth stump line, and Uzair Haider, the way he's been whacking that ball, needed no second invitation. Beautifully hit over cover. One bounce into the fence. End of the over, 15 for none.
New bowler being introduced is Akhlaq Haider from the ICCA Academy end. So let's see what he has in store for us. Syed Asher on strike. Starting from around the wicket, moving across Syed Asher.
Yeah, interesting ploy there from Akhlaq. He's seen Muhammad Yasir go for a few by coming over the wicket and bowling into the right-hander. So maybe just trying something new here, coming around the wicket and taking it away from the right-hander. Look at how far across he has gone, the bowler. Can't afford to do that. He might just get a warning from the umpire.
Struck on the pads. Bit of a look to Shami maybe. But I think that's genuinely leg buys. Yes. So Syed Asher not looking comfortable with that around the wicket angle. And a hint of inward movement as well there. Take a look, Samir.
Yeah, it's the sort of angle that it makes you want to play every delivery, even if it's outside the off stump. You just get that feeling that it's going to come in any moment, and you feel like you have to play straight at it.
There you can see in the background Mr. Mahesh Montkar, the tournament director. Very, very nice man. And of course, our match referee, Mr. Iftikhar Ali, keeping a close eye, a hawk eye on proceedings. Wonderful man to work with. Beautiful shot, squeezed away behind point. That is absolutely glorious from Uzair.
He looks in the mood, doesn't he? Anything full, anything short. He doesn't mind what the length is, what the line is. He seems to know only one way of playing, and that is to hit it big and hit it in the gaps. This is once again nicely squeezed past those two fielders.
That became a bit of a half volley there. Keeper up. So that's a good ploy. At least it'll keep Uzair in his crease. But I don't think he likes running in the first place.
He hasn't had to leave his crease at all to play the shots that he did so far. The sheer power coming through, hitting through the line.
He's already moved on to 18. Down the leg side, that's a poor delivery. And with fine leg up, you're asking for trouble. 4 runs.
You can never set a field to bowling like that. Your captain can have all the plans under the sun drawn out, pre-team discussions. This is where we're going to attack this batter. But if you're going to bowl that length, you're always going to get punished. And Akhlaq Haider here, guilty of spraying down the leg side and getting hit for another 4.
He can certainly swing the ball both ways. Akhlaq, just the control that is lacking. Uzair Man already into the 20s, 22. That was in the slot once again and just forced with the bottom hand. There is a long on in place though. For once, they keep him to a single.
Very defensive early on. They had to take that route. Deep mid-wicket and a long on in place for both the batters, in fact. Asher hasn't had much of the strike. So I'm not sure if they want to go defensive at him. Maybe try out a slip. Yes, I know the ball is angling in. But still, show them that you're interested in still picking up wickets. You don't want to go defensive so early on in the game.
Completely agree. It's just about one mistake. One good delivery. Nicely clipped through the vacant mid-wicket. As Samir has pointed out. And Akhlaq is underway. He'll keep the strike as well. 26 for none. At the end of 2 overs. The skipper will continue. His first over was carted for 15 runs. Adjustment in the field. And now he also has a deep mid-wicket in place. And a deep cover sweeper as well. Trying to just force that through the covers, Syed Asher. Not looking as fluent as we'd expect coming off a 50.
Yeah, despite going for 15 in that first over, the captain backing himself, Muhammad Yasir, knows he can maybe make amends to that early start that they've got. Long off now comes up and long on goes down to Muhammad Asher.
Yeah, mixing it up here. And it's gone straight up. Chance for a catch. Fielder settling. And that's an absolute goober of an effort.
Well, it was a straightforward catch at backward point, but the way he was moving around, I never was convinced he was going to take it. And
Yeah,
Syed Ashir gets a life.
He was never in it. Circling around it, was never going to get that. Had a tough time judging it. And it did go quite a long way up in the air. Lots of elevation. Didn't even pass the 30-yard circle. But the fielder all over it. In the end, was nowhere close.
He didn't even touch the ball. Well, that point fielder needs to be changed. Not done so far, NBD. Slower delivery for once. Uzair Haider in two minds, and Syed Ashir gone for a stroll, almost ran himself out.
Uzair here has got off to a good start, and Ashir will have to play a interesting, intelligent role here. He knows that his partner is going well, therefore he doesn't have to maybe play the same role. Take time, rotate the strike.
Steps out, goes for the big hoik there. And Mohammad Yasir has come back very well in his second over. Only one run off it. And Uzair Haider, a rush of blood. Well, when you're belting the ball right from your crease, playing orthodox shots, what was the need, especially with a deep mid-wicket in place?
Yeah, looks like Mohammad Yasir has heard you, and he's mixing it up, short stuff this time, probably with that deep square leg fielder in mind.
This time he steps on it and bashes it over covers. Read the length early, and that bottom hand came through to drive it to the fence.
Yeah, every time it has been full. This wasn't even that full actually, on a good length, but the kind of wrist speed and hands that Uzair has, it's very easy for him to hammer that over cover. Plenty of open spaces there, no fielders in the deep on the off, so he can afford to play that shot. All the deep fielders, both the deep fielders in fact, on the leg side, long on and deep mid wicket.
Brilliant striking. I do have to feel for Mohammad Yasir. Better delivery. Skewed away onto the leg side. The fine leg has to give chase, and he'll just about pull it in, and they'll scamper. For just 2 runs, that's poor running, I feel. Should have had an easy 3. Still a productive over, 33 for none. Akhlaq Haider continues, trying to slice that away behind point. 3 of 7 now for Syed Ashir. Perhaps trying to play too many shots, Samir.
He's coming wider of the crease, Akhlaq Haider, just to maximize on the inward movement. And you're right, Ashir seems to have taken his time, but he can afford to do that because he knows his partner is going at a very good strike rate. Keeper up for Ashir too now. Yeah, he's not connected them, has they?
A big heave there. Why not just drop and run for 1? Take your time at the crease. Fair enough, you might not be timing the ball. You might not be in the groove. But this way, you're only going to gift your wicket. You've already had a catch put down. So my suggestion, just drop it into the covers. Get on the other end. Nicely bowled. And nicely left by Uzair. It wasn't in his arc, so he's like, I can catch up to it later. No worries.
Sign of a good batter, isn't he? Respecting the good deliveries, not going after everything that he sees. Even though it's a T20, you still have time.
Drilled through extra cover. Look at that power. It swung in right into the slot. and disappeared through extra cover for 4.
Well, I used to think that the phrase stand and deliver was always overused, but in this case, there's no use of overuse there. That was stand and deliver in every sense of the phrase.
Unbelievable power he generates with that bottom hand. 33 of 14. And they're doing a bit of ball chasing here. There was a deep extra cover. Now they've rethought that. They've pushed the mid-on back to the fence. And there is that regular deep mid-wicket. But he's just smoking the ball through the covers and over it. Oh, this has gone up. Fielder settling the extra cover. And he's put it down once again. Another life gifted. And that is to the man in form. Once again, he never really looked like catching it. He's right in front of the comb box.
I'll tell you what, he could have finished a cup of tea before that ball came down to him. It was that high in the air. Hamad Ahmed did get under it, but right in the end, made an absolute miss. So 2 chances now put down, both these batters getting a reprieve.
How costly will they be? Steady over from Akhlaq. He did his role, but the fielders are letting them down. 39 for none. Just take a look here. Went up in the air for absolute miles. And Hamad, yeah, just didn't read it, did he? Plus you have the floodlights in the background. He looks devastated. How costly will that miss be? New bowler being introduced is Mubashir Bukhari. Still 2 overs of power play remaining. Gymkhana going along swimmingly at 9.8 runs per over. And he's taken a deep fine leg immediately. And a deep cover. Interesting field set. Not sure what to make of it. Samir, I'll have your expertise weigh in.
Yeah, I wonder why it took them that long to have the deep extra cover, to be honest, because most of the boundaries have gone in that region. They can do with some protection there, cut down on the number of boundaries. Uzair Haider seems to be strong in that region, so this seems like a good move.
Base on and dispatched over cow corner. And that's gone way, way back on the grass banks. Another maximum for Uzair.
An absolute gift here, Mubashir. Who's just come into the attack, bowled a loosener. Look at that, ample time, ample space, good length for him to rock back and just pull that to wherever he wanted it. And boy, he hit it far, far away.
Well, fans of the Arabian Cricket League would have seen Mohammad Wasim's exceptional innings yesterday. And now they have another treat on this late Monday evening. Uzair Haider, 40 of just 16 deliveries. Six boundaries and 2 maximums to his name already, Uzair Haider. Maximum efficiency, and Mubashir Bukhari, he has to bounce back here. Not a bad delivery, just a touch wide.
Yeah, that's what happens to you when you go for a big shot early on, when you love the batter to get over you, then you're suddenly under pressure trying to overcorrect yourself. Yes, he needs to be on that off stump line because that's where his field is. But when you say off stump, that's around the 4th and 5th stump line, not too wide, where the batter can afford to just leave you alone.
Oh, it's a top edge. Fine leg is going to go over him. And has he reined that in, Samir? You have the eagle eye view.
I think he did. It's a good job in the end by him. Did manage to get it back just in time. He was never going to get to that for a catch, but good on the fielder's part. Did manage to pull it back.
Well, they only ran 1 run. That is very poor. Outside edge, over the third man who's in the ring. And Syed Ashar, well, it wasn't quite in control, but he'll get a boundary. 50 up for Gymkhana.
That's the price you pay when you want to have protection down in the deep on the two sides. Your third man and final leg are going to be up, and that's what happens. Any edge, outside, inside, is always going to go to the boundary. Uzair here, in fact, this was Ashir getting among the runs now. He hasn't looked convincing. It's been mostly edges from him.
It's been edgy and he's had a catch drop. Now they bring that deep square leg in. And they've pushed the third man back. So they're just doing a bit of ball chasing here. You can't really cover for that. And I do feel for Mubashir here. Good delivery, extra bounce. And Syed Ashar once again, just at 6s and 7s.
Yeah, you could see he put some effort into that delivery, really bent his back, wanted to extract that bounce and pace. Watch that. Yes, real effort there. And not real enough room for Ashir there to try and work that to the offside.
Yeah, I think he bowled with the leg cutters action, but the ball came in. Mischief off the pitch. It's not been a terrible over from Mubashir, to be honest. Oh, big swish this time. Syed Ashar. What's going on here? Have to be a lot more composed at the crease.
Contrasting, isn't it, from the two batters? One guy is middling it and absolutely tonking it everywhere, and the other is struggling to make a connection.
And that is the issue. He's seeing Uzair smashing the ball all over the park. He's like, why can't I do that? You don't want to compete with your partner, you want to assist him.
Don't compete, you complement your partner. That's what they always say about batting in partnerships.
Just like you and I. This is better. And this has been cracked through cover point. That will give him a lot of confidence. That's a glorious hit.
There's something off the middle of the bat finally for Ashir, and he gets maximum out of it. 4 runs to finish the over. What a nice looking hit there. Waited, and as soon as he saw width, cut it away in that gap. So every time they've taken the fielder out, the ball has gone into that region, and the captain will really now be scratching his head. End of 5 overs, 55 for none.
Well, all three bowlers for NBD have taken a pasting. Akhlaq will bowl his third on the trot. They did create opportunities, though. Fair play to them. Not responded positively by the fielders. And they need to get Uzair Haider out of the middle. 41 of 17. Projected scores already looking at 200 plus, Samir.
They could have had 3 by now, Emirates NBD, had they held on to their catches and taken their chances. But unfortunately for them, they will love these two batters to settle down. 55 for none in 5. That's
Played solidly behind that. Nothing he could do with that delivery. Back of a length on mid lane off. That will work on any pitch in any ground.
long on is in place, and there is a deep extra cover. So good field this is for Uzair Haider, both his strong sides, but he won't want to be short here.
And down the leg side will not do either. Threw his bat at it. And it's given us 5 wides. Well, that will be painful.
Can be frustrating for a captain, isn't it? He's setting you a field and he's asking you to bowl somewhere, but when you get the length right, you get the line wrong. When you get the line right, you're getting the length wrong. This is frustrating stuff from Akhlaq Haider.
Who would want to be a bowler in T20? Who would want to be a captain in T20? Just be an opening batter, make 30 odd in the power play, or maybe 41 of 18, and you're the hero. And that has been smoked towards deep cover, just over the fielder. Well, we're waiting for the signal. Is it a 6 or a 4? He's gone to fetch the ball. Let's take a look at the replay, because if it's a 4, then Mohammad Yasir will feel aggrieved. That's a 6.
Yeah, had he been exactly on that boundary line, that could have been a chance there for that fielder. But tell you what, Uzair Haider, the kind of form he's in, he doesn't care where the field is. If it's there to be hit, he's going to challenge it.
47 of just 19. What an innings. Well played, well bowled once again. And And you're talking about that deep cover fielder. Well, you have to be as tall as you, Samir Yunus. You're about 6'2", 6'3", strapping lad. No chance for a sub 6 footer like me. I'm not going to give you the exact measurements. And this time he slices it. And it will hit the fence. And that is 50 for Uzair Haider of just 21 deliveries. What a sparkling innings.
This has been a display of brute force here by Uzair Haider. From the ball, from the time he came in, just took 2 balls to get an eye in, and from the 3rd ball onwards, he's just been whacking it to all parts of the park. And this one, fashionably on that offside, beautifully done in the gap. No chance for the cover fielder there to cut it off, and he gets to a 50. How long can he go on? If he stays for a long time, we're in for a big total here.
Once again, those powerful wrists, supple. This time, it's a rare dot ball. He's not that kind of character who will think too much about it.
Yeah, just from the Emirates NBD perspective, the captain must be thinking, if I only had that one fast bowler who can really crank it up in terms of pace, they could really make use of these conditions. But none of these bowlers seem to have the pace to trouble these batters. So you have to be really pinpoint accurate when you don't have that pace to trouble the batter. So that's been their problem.
Indeed, the margin for error is almost 0, less than 0 even. Oh, that was short and wide and asking to be hit. Given as a wide. The bowler can feel slightly unlucky, but it was beyond the tram lines from where Uzair Haider is standing.
Not much footwork, as you would typically guess from a batsman like Uzair Haider. And in terms of footwork, they haven't even run too much actually. Even if they hit it in the deep, just been 1s or 2s. So mostly just hitting.
Big full toss, and they've gotten away with it. And that will conclude, a fantastic power play for Gymkhana. 71 for none. So finally going to see some spin being introduced here. It's Charuka Raveen. Played a really good hand in the previous game, but he needs to step up with the ball here under serious pressure.
Well, hello countrymen. Charuka Raveen being introduced.
And they're wearing your national colours as well.
He'll feel at home, won't he?
Let's see if he can step up to the mark. Slashed in the air, beats the point fielder. The deep cover will clean it up. That could have been a chance. Lucky there, Syed Ashar.
Yeah, in the gap. Another left arm spinner from Sri Lanka. We produce them like we produce our tea, Ahmed.
Oh, absolutely, one of the finest tea brands are from the lovely island of Ceylon. So is my commentary teammate, Mr. Samir Yunus Hingora. For all his fans out there, do follow him on his Instagram. It's quite entertaining with his very lame dad joke.
Aren't you in the mood today, Ahmed? Aren't you in the mood to get me out there? Charuka Raveen. Sorry, I mentioned left arm, but he's a right arm spinner. Sometimes when you're a left-hander yourself, you see everyone else as a mirror image of you.
Seems to be modeling his bowling on Ravichandran Ashwin. Has that carom ball out of the front stuff. Sri Lankan spinners are so good at those variations. And he's really tied them down here. Chance for a run out. Just couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, they end up learning those variations, not so much by choice, but out of, real application, because we have, as we've discussed so many times, Ahmed, back home in Sri Lanka, school cricket is the biggest thing. That's what produces all of the cricketers that we do. And a lot of our school grounds and the tracks, they're mostly spin friendly, very slow, almost 5 overs into the game. Even if it's a 2-day game, you see spinners coming to the attack very early. So really, they play a big role in keeping batters quiet with those variations.
Taken on the full, behind square leg, and a misfield will give him 4 runs. Uzair Haider is unstoppable.
It was a good over so far, but a little full toss there. And Uzair Haider, like you said, in the form he is, all he had to do was get down. He didn't even get down on one knee. He just bent a bit and slapped that, almost like a standing sweep shot. Good effort in the field. He did cover all the ground, but couldn't really get his hand down on time.
Yeah, unlucky there. Certainly great effort. It was Lahiru Malwatta out there at deep square, his compatriot. Nice one sliding across him. That will conclude a decent over from Charuka, 78 for none. Santosh Pillai coming into the attack from the academy end. Syed Ashir takes him for a ride and they go downtown for a maximum. That's on the roof of the ICCA Academy.
Talk about watching the spinner, see what he does, where he bowls. Ashir has seen enough now and he's decided he's going to join the party, and this time we were talking about him not making the best of connections, but wow, he did make a superb connection there.
It was in the slot and he chanced his arm, and look at that ball travel. Well, just hit the window panes there, way up. I'm going to send our scorer Abdul Wasi up there. I'm scared of heights. Thankfully the ball came down itself. Current run rate just below 12. What a start for Gymkhana. Outside edge, nobody in slip, and that will scurry away for another boundary.
And that went quick. Even if there was a slip, I doubt he would have got a hand to it. So early on, just 2 balls in, Santosh Pillai. 1 full, gone for a 6. A short one, tried to cut it. Outside edge, goes for a 4. Ashir now getting into the act.
Nothing much the keeper could do there. Thickish outside edge. Perhaps we would have needed Mahela Jayawardene had slipped there. He took some blinders in his career. Too wide, and he's just flat batted it down the ground for 4.
A lazy effort there from Santosh to try and stop that. Yes, it was hit quite hard, but the fielders on the long on and long off regions are a bit too wide to cut that off. It was hit hard and hit straight, like every coach would tell you.
So Syed Ashir, he's had to hang in there. He's struggled for timing and to find his touch, but now 29 of 20, he is looking the aggressor, allowing Uzair a breather. Cut away, and that's a better length and line to bowl. It'll take some doing to clear those offside fences from there.
If you haven't seen these two batters play off the front foot too much, they've preferred to hang back and almost wait for the ball to come into them, and they seem to be very strong off the back foot, whether they play on the offside or the leg side, except when it's been really pitched up, that's when they've come forward. That too, not much of footwork.
Around the wicket to Uzair, and that big sweep shot comes out, and oh, good footwork, nicely done. And they'll just ease through for 2. I thought that was destined for the fence as well.
Yeah, good work from the fielder there. He knew he wouldn't be able to get down on time, so really put his foot out there, saved a couple of runs for his team.
He put his foot down, so to speak. If you can do the dad joke, so can I. So can I. Watch out, Samir Yusuf Hingora. Coming for you. And that is pure power over extra cover. No chance for the deep cover sweeper. Uzair Haider showing his muscle.
Well, he's in no mood for dad jokes for sure. Uzair Haider is serious out there tonight and he wants to tonk the ball very, very hard. No chance for the fielder. So 99 now at the end of 8 overs. A mammoth score coming up here for Dubai Gymkhana.
Charuka Raveen. He was unlucky to concede a boundary in his first over. Bowled really well. Can he provide the breakthrough? No room offered at all. I wonder if it would look like to switch to bowling over the wicket. This is slightly defensive.
Yeah, it's been the only sort of positive in this bowling lineup for Emirates NBD. All the bowlers have really gone for a few.
Taken that long single to long off, and that is the 100 opening partnership for Dubai Gymkhana. It's been a bit combination of fire and ice and worked really, really well for them.
100 of exactly 50. So really held the strike rate to go to there now. I'm sure they're eyeing a big total here. Charuka though has kept things tight. Expect Sri Lanka to do all the good work in the evening, don't you?
Why not? I'll allow it. Because he has done good work, you're absolutely right. Keeping a tight leash. But Uzair has challenged him outside edge, over point. Third man is in for the spinner. And that's a streaky boundary for once.
Yeah, full outside the off stump. Uzair is not going to miss that out. He knows he can take the risk. Because again, there's only one deep extra cover protecting that boundary. They have a very strong leg side field in the deep. But if you're going to bowl in the offside, you have to be very, very careful. Especially if it's too full. Uzair has no problem in going after that.
And he didn't want to bowl it in his arc, but still skewed it over. This time he challenges him, very full. He has the big leg side boundary to his right, Charuka. So I think he has to take that chance. Let him go over the top. If he clears the field and the grass banks, then that's just Uzair Haider's strength, not your fault.
And what we've seen tonight, Ahmad, is that every time they've been wicket to wicket, straight stuff, the batters haven't been too comfortable.
Tucked around the corner neatly, and Asher, despite his toils, is playing a good innings now. 32 of just 24, keeping up a healthy clip, and 66 of 29 for Uzair. Well, are we going to see the third century of the Arabian Cricket League tonight? Very possible. Oh, he skewed this in the air, deep square leg, just drops in front of him, and it skipped away for 4. Can you believe it?
Yeah, always a choice, isn't it? When you're running in to take a catch from the field, you have to make a quick decision. You just have a couple of milliseconds maybe, whether to go for the catch or try and save the boundary. They are desperate for a wicket, so the fielder probably thought that he might chance himself to try and get there. But in the end, not only did he fall short, you got to give it to, excuse him, because the ball spun after it stopped, after it bumped. And then it ran away to the boundary. The fast outfield here at ICCA Arabian Oval, never going to stop. 9 overs done. 110 for none for Dubai Gymkhana.
Vaibhav Singh into the game, left arm spinner. Oh, and he struck Uzair Haider there, Syed Ashir. Well, a big smile on his face. He's all right. Well, he's built like an absolute rock. Won't affect him too much. Forced off the back foot, beats the extra cover, long off. Will not catch up to it. That's a quality shot from Syed Ashir.
Uzair must be telling him, well, I don't mind you hitting me. If you can follow it up with some runs, they're going to have a good time laughing about this in the back, in the dressing room later on. But this was in the gap. Very nicely placed. He could have hit that anywhere he wanted. Chose the right region to go.
He has to bowl a lot fuller there, Vaibhav. And he needs to help his captain. He was the one who dropped the catch at backward point. Those projected scores are looking very scary indeed. It's too short. Powered off the back foot. Chance for long off. And he's taken it. Well, I asked Vaibhav to respond. And he's delivered immediately. Charuka with the safe hands at long off. First wicket down.
The two spinners combined to get that first wicket for Emirates NBD. Little shot that was there to be hit. He had to go for it, Ashir. And he's hit it straight down to the throat of Charuka, who looks like a good fielder. Safe hands. First wicket falls for 114. Ashir goes for 36 of 27.
So good work from Vaibhav. First was a half tracker and then the wicket. Mohammad Shahzad in at one drop. And he'll need to play well here. He needs to get going immediately. That's been his only problem in this Arabian Cricket League. He just consumes too many dot balls.
Yeah, Ashir and Haider have set the tone for this innings. They've gone at a very, very healthy run rate. Look at that projected 236. If they are to get there, Uzair will continue playing shots like that. In fact, it has gone straight to the hands.
Well, another half tracker, and Uzair Haider for once has mistimed an aerial shot. And Vaibhav Singh does the trick. 2 wickets in the over. This time it was Mubashir Bukhari at deep cow corner, and he didn't have to move an inch. Nicely done. So Vaibhav Singh, he's having a day out. 2 wickets to his name. And both openers have departed. A sparkling innings from Uzair Haider. 70 of just 31 deliveries. 115 for 2. Rahman Gul coming in at number 4. I think that's a very good move. Experienced player, quality batter. And Vaibhav Singh, quality bowler. Nicely bowled. Only 5 runs off the over. And the 2 big wickets. Emirates NBD coming back into the game. 115 for 2 at the halfway stage. Charuka Raveen. And Shehzad goes downtown. He hasn't connected. Fielder just drops in front of the two. So all of a sudden, Dubai Gymkhana, they've lost their batting flow here. Samir Yunus.
Yeah, two new batters, the best thing Emirates could have asked for actually. And they've got that now. And it will be really useful for them if they can get one more wicket here, really dent that flow of runs, bring back the momentum onto their side. The two spinners have done really well.
They certainly have. Rahman Gul slices this over point deliberately in the air. Won't reach the fence, but they'll pick up an easy two. And Webber, after having bowled an over, has to run 30 yards to his left to fetch the ball.
And Dubai Gymkhana here, if they're a smart batting unit, they'll realize they still have under 10 overs to go. That's a lot of deliveries, 58. They can afford to take a bit of time here, both these batters, just get their eyes in, knock them around for a few singles, maybe see the spinners off because they've generally found the spinners hard to hit. And then come the business end, the last 5 overs, they can really go aggressive again.
Completely agree. You've diagnosed the match situation well. Let's see if they can live up to it. And of course, the captain Waqas is in absolutely great hitting form. Can they set a platform for him? Beautiful pull sweep shot there from Rahman Gul. Pardon me. That was hit with a lot of power.
Yeah, that's been their problem, hasn't it, Emirates NBD? Every time they've looked like they've applied some pressure on the batter, there comes that loose ball to release all of the good work that they've done. And to a batter like Rahman Gul, when you give those freebies, he's going to maximize and capitalize.
That was like hammering a nail on the head there from Rahman Gul. He's always busy in the UAE domestic scene, loves his cricket. Wake him up at 3 a.m. and he'll be good for a T20 game. Looking dangerous. Nicely bowled. Good response from Charuka as well.
Yeah, he came back well there. And that's been his strength. He's been able to control that line and length. Even the ball looking quite wet here. They're using those t-shirts to dry it up.
Indeed, that was a point raised by both captains. Or beats the outside edge. In fact, it is a genuine outside edge. That one that goes across, and desperately unlucky Charuka to concede a boundary.
Well, when things don't go your way, they just don't go your way. Few outside edges we've seen now this evening. That's another one of those. A big heave down the leg side, was nowhere there to be hit on the leg side. Good ball there by Charuka. Unfortunately, trickled away to the boundary. End of over 11. It's 126 for 2.
Web of Singh continues, and why not when you pick up 2 wickets in your first over. And Aslam, well, that first shot to get off the mark was slightly uncultured. This is a lot better.
Yeah, seems to have got that control. Now, Web of Singh, how impressive. Very innocuous action, nothing much in it. Simple, gentle left arm off spin. But he's managed to somehow allow the batsman to play a couple of rash shots.
That was the slider coming on with the arm. And they've scampered for a quick single. Well, he's slightly disappointed. The backward point fielder should have done a bit better there. It was the captain himself, Mohammad Yasir. Mohammad Aslam on strike. And he's just easily lofted extra cover. Another poor delivery. And he picked the right area to hit it.
Yeah, that's been the key feature of this batting innings so far. There have been plenty of loose balls, and every time they've made sure they've hit it in the right regions, the right areas. Yes, there has been a very defensive field from the start, but they've made sure they've hit it in gaps where there are no fielders. And that's why this total is now at 132 for 2 under 12 overs.
Gone like a bullet down the ground, and another catch is fluffed. Well, Emirates NBD, you need to grab onto that. Charuka, I expected better.
Yeah, well, it's a bit harsh to call it a chance there. He tried to make a big effort, tried to get under the ball to try and almost grasp it at the last moment, but jumped over it instead of under it and paid the price with a boundary. Lots of light being offered by Vaibhav Singh. Goes for the good old-fashioned slog sweep Rahman Gul. So he's not going to look around. Not heeding to our advice of watching it around for a while, Ahmed. He's decided he's going to go all out.
Yeah, that's the game plan. Projected scores are well above 200. Now they're looking to counter-attack Vaibhav as well. Taken for 11. Oh, beautifully bowled armour. It's hard to pick. But he's just dabbed it away for one. 12 off the over, 138 for 2. Charuka will bowl out here. And Rahman Gul, he's looked slightly uncomfortable against the spinners, hasn't he, Sameer?
Yeah, and the captain of NBD realizing that if there's any chance of them to pick up another wicket, he'll have to bowl out Charuka Raveen.
Back cut, beats the point fielder. I think he got half a hand on it, but not enough as it just trickles into the boundary rope.
Yeah, cut away. Every time it passes that 30-yard circle, it's very difficult for the fielders in the deep to cut it off because this outfield is lightning quick. And even that half a hand, just not enough to try and stop that boundary.
Well, Dew has kicked in early tonight. So Dubai Gymkhana will need all the runs on the board that they can afford. It will be very difficult for their pacers and spinners as well. This time skewed away. Beats the deep cover. It was more to his right, and Rahman Gul with back-to-back boundaries.
Yeah, he was setting up to play that straight down the ground, but when he realized it was too full on the off stump, he almost turned his bat at the last moment. Look at that, almost like a helicopter shot that we always see. But very smartly done there.
Indeed, the value of experience, perfectly said. Just found the gap. Could have easily gone squarer, but just waited on it, and found the right area. 20 off 11 for him now. This time he was aiming for his batting partner, and it's gone for 4 once again. Back to back boundaries.
Before this over, I was about to make the remark that Charuka's figures don't really justify the way he's bowled tonight, but in this last over, wow, that head would have been taken off. In this last over, he's just spoiling his figures. Being too full to a batter like Rahman Gul, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, that was a very poor effort at long off. He actually overran the ball. They're almost touching 150 just in the 13th over. In fact, it is 150. That slider, he's good at that delivery, Charuka.
Yeah, that's the length that has worked for him, so why not stick to it? Why go full? Almost getting tempted to try and prize out a wicket. We should know better that these batters like it full. They're waiting for that length. Again, he decides to go full. It goes up in the air. And it's gone straight to the fielder. So now they're holding on to their catchers, Emirates NBD. And they are finally a wicket for Charuka Raveen.
Anuj Thakur, the fielder at long off. Well, he's still thinking about that misfield. But he made absolutely no mistake on the catch. Not out of the middle. It was swirling in the air. And that's a very good grab indeed. Well done. So another important wicket goes down. 150 for 3. Vaibhav into his third over. Well, Rahman Gul, his tormentor-in-chief, has departed. Waqas Ahmed Khan, the captain, has come in. Well, they've gone all out with the power hitters tonight. I really love this approach from Gymkhana.
Yeah, word on Vaibhav. It's really slowed it up tonight, and that hasn't allowed the batter to really get going. Look at that, very slow through the air, asking the batsman to create all the power rather than giving him that pace.
Absolutely, and it's working for him. Right approach, even with the shorter leg side boundary, he's bowled pretty well. And that armour of his, very impressive. It's hard to detect, and it foxed a couple of the Gymkhana batters there. Can he get the opposing skipper early here? That will really set the cat among the pigeons. Watchfully played, squeezed away, and he'll get off the mark.
Once again, very slow. Almost asking the batsman to wait and watch before they can really go for that big shot. So good bowling here, good thing. Remember, he put down a catch early on, so that must be playing on his mind too.
And his control with the wet ball is immaculate. Sized away towards deep square leg. And he's really done well here. Full credit to him. 2 for 20. We're in the third over. In this greasy outfield, when he's holding a bar of soap for a ball, to produce that kind of spell takes a lot of skill. Oh, look, trying to force that behind point. Could have easily been an outside edge.
Almost kissed the bails there. Lucky to get away with that, captain. It's a good ploy, this one. Very impressive from Vaibhav Singh.
Not quite connected. Just clears the extra cover. Well, that's another brilliant over that comes to an end. The Dubai Gymkhana dugout has slightly gone a bit quiet here. They're worried. 154 for 3. Santosh Pillai back into the attack, was given a brief reprieve after being carted for 21. Oh, it's gone straight up. Keeper settling underneath it, and he's held on. That's a massive moment in the game. The big hitter, Waqas Ahmed Khan, departs.
A very good move to bring the spinner in. They've seen how they struggled against the other two spinners. Not so much against Shahrukh, but Vaibhav Singh has really set the tone here for the spinners. Pillai too, not giving any pace whatsoever, just pushing it up through the air, looking for that big shot. Waqas Ahmed only managed to hit it right up, and the keeper, right move for him to go for it with the man in the gloves. That allows them to pick up another wicket. So 4 wickets here, picking them up quite regularly now. Waqas, the captain, goes 2 of 4 for him, 154 for 4.
New batter in is Shajat Talat, and there's certainly a bit of a wobble here for Dubai Gymkhana. They've lost 4 pretty quick wickets. It's been trial by spin, and besides Uzair Haider, nobody else has quite managed to cope with it. And this is a very big opportunity to get back in the game for NBD. Just flicked into mid wicket. he'll get off the mark. So what should be the approach here, Samir?
Yeah, probably the good thing to do here by Shahjat. Just get off the mark, get to the non-strikers and knock it around for a while. Yes, they've lost a bit of momentum in this innings. But imagine Emirates NBD, had they held on to those early catchers, they would have been right in this game and had Dubai Gymkhana on the back foot so early on, because all the bulk of the scoring was done by those openers, and they were given 3 chances.
And we all know under lights, anything can be chased down here. And the approach has completely changed now. Now they're looking to bat for the overs rather than hit the ball out of the park.
Yeah, and these batters, the kind of strength that they have, they want that pace on the ball, and the spinners here really seem to have sort of cracked the code, so to say, to keep them quiet.
Beautifully depicted. Well said. Oh, it's the toe end, gone straight up, backward point, takes the catch. It's an almighty collapse here for Gymkhana. Mubashir once again with the safe pair of hands.
It's like 2 different fielding teams out there from the first few overs, and now suddenly they're hanging on to their chances. There's a bit of excitement in the field. There's a bit of positivity in their body language. They're holding on to their catches. They're picking up wickets, and very soon they've lost half their side, Dubai Gymkhana. What's going on here?
Santosh Pillai with 2 wickets in the over. A twist in the tail at the ICCA Academy. 155 for 5. Well, a rare loose delivery in this over from Santosh allows Syed Hasnan, the wicketkeeper, to get out of the mark. He's another positive player. He'll get on with the game.
Yeah, he could have afforded that loose delivery there. And the batters are going to be careful. They've seen what happened to the previous batters that came out. All of them trying to hit those big shots, not getting all of it, skying it and giving catches. And most importantly, Emirates have held on to their catches.
Most certainly. Very watchful indeed, Shahjat, getting to the pitch of the ball, tucking it into the leg side for 1. And that will conclude a cracking over from Mr. Pillai. 157 for 5. Well, just take a look at the fall of wickets here, Samir. There were 114 for none. And then they've gone down like a house of cards. 157 for 5. Mohammad Yasir really rung the changes with his bowlers, but full credit to Vaibhav Singh, Santosh Pillai and Charuka. He was the one who really started the rot for Gymkhana. Vaibhav to bowl his final over here.
Yeah, Charuka created that pressure from one end, stitched together a few dot balls, put them under pressure. It was Vaibhav who picked up those wickets thanks to that pressure that he created. Now he's come back to bowl his last over. If he can pick up 1 or 2 more, then really Emirates have pulled back the game in their favour.
Trying to cut that away, finds the gap. It's going to be a big chase for the fielders. And the ball eventually and inevitably wins the race.
How many times have we seen that here at the ICCA Academy? Every time it's been short on that 4th stump line. The batters have rocked back, have enough time to roll their wrists and cut that away. More importantly, between the gap, in the gap between cover and point.
Well, they have a deep extra for Vaibhav. Put him in the orthodox position. Why are you trying to protect a good shot? Protect the bad ones. If he can hit the left arm spin over extra cover, credit to the batter. Oh, looking to glide that away off the stumps. Shahjat Talit, fanciful work.
Very dangerous shot to play when you've seen the ball not spin at all night. It's just gone straight off the arm. Should have known that by now. They've been watching the game for the last 15 overs from the hut.
Perhaps he's a bit tired here, Weber. 4 overs on the trot. It's not just about the physical aspect, mental aspect as well when you have heavy hitters to bowl to. And he's been mighty impressive. Really showed a lot of skill bowling under lights at this venue. It's almost a death trap for the spinners.
Yeah, full credit to him. Really single-handedly brought the game back into Emirates' favour. And last 3 deliveries of this over. Again, very gentle, very simple and easy on the eye. Cuts it away, but just for a single.
They still haven't changed that fielder here. He's at deep extra. I think it's Lahiru Malawatta there. Needs to be in the orthodox position. You need to save the bowler from himself sometimes. 2 deliveries remaining. Oh, and a sweep shot. Almost played in slow motion. And Santosh Pillai. First he had to hit his own brakes, then stop the ball.
Well, he's fancied his footwork tonight, that's for sure. Seen him do that a couple of times now. Waited forever, didn't he, for the ball to come. He premeditated, wanted to go down that route, but was really slowly pushed by Webber.
Well, we were all in preparation for the World Cup starting in 2 weeks. Football fever at the ICCA Academy. Back cut once again into the gap. And that deep extra cover, well, that is the problem. It's cost him 4 runs and spoiled his figures. But 2 for 30 on the night. Excellent work by Vaibhav Singh. And that's an excellent shot by Syed Hasnan. Boundary to conclude the over. 170 for 5 with 4 overs to go. Santosh Pillai into the attack, coming off a 2-wicket over. And this is a half opportunity for Emirates NBD to just clamp down on the scoring. But Vaibhav Singh's overs are done and dusted.
Yeah, at one point we were looking at a 230, 240 score, but from here onwards they'll be happy if they can get to 200.
Swept away, straight to short fine leg. Well, Santosh Pillai, the man with the golden arm, straight to short fine leg, and another wicket goes.
Well, contrasting bowling here from Santosh Pillai. In his first spell, in his first over, went for 21 runs, really got punished, and now he's picked up 3 wickets in 2 overs. And the fielders, more importantly, have really put their hands up, taken the catches, and brought the Emirates team right back into this game. 6 wickets down now. A very fast falling procession this has become, the batting for Dubai Gymkhana. 170 for 6 for them now. Santosh Pillai, those 3 wickets now, he'll have his tail up. Very good comeback for Emirates NBD. Speaking of comebacks, somebody who's just come into the commentary box. Abid Ibrahim, good evening to you. You've had a busy day today, looks like.
Oh, indeed. I was watching this game from out. Just wanted to be away from you guys. Just wanted to enjoy the game. But this one is toned and came in nice into the bat. And straight to the hand of the fielder. Goodness me. Santosh Pillai cannot do anything wrong tonight. What a catch and what a bowling.
Well, his first over was quite wrong. But after that, wow, has he come back or what? They dropped 2 catches in the first few overs, but after that, they've held on to every chance that's come their way. Emirates NBD really now seriously damaging this batting innings of Dubai Gymkhana. They were looking good for a 230, 240 score. But now, wickets just keep falling. Every batter has walked in and out in no time. 170 for 6 Dubai Gymkhana. Mohammad Adnan Kaisar comes onto the crease now. 7 wickets down for Dubai Gymkhana, and Santosh Pillai has picked up 4 of them. Can you believe it? None for 21 in his first over, and now 4 for 24. That's what he's done all day, Abid. He's flighted, he's not given enough room to the batter, no pace, absolutely nothing to work with, and every batter other than the opening batter have struggled to make a connection. This has been a very good comeback.
Can we have double wicket made in here? The question is only 2 more good deliveries. That's again flighted and driven towards the mid-off. That's sensible that you need to wait for the ball slightly and then play it. And that's what I think has been the play here. So he only 1 run coming off this over and got 2 wickets. What a brilliant over from Santosh. 171 for 7 at the end of 17. And on comes the new bowler. Oh, that's almost got him a no ball. I tell you what. Now, if you bowl, well, it's brilliant to see Shami maybe there, the umpire. What a lovely character he is, and absolutely very dedicated to his work. A brilliant umpire. Cut down my conversation there, pardon me. But I need to give credit to this man, and I'm glad to see him around. Driven, and that's been cut down, and I think the approach is being slightly different. What do you think, Samir? When you lose wicket, what should you plan and what you should do when you're losing wickets like a pack of cards.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done that to begin with. They were going along really well, 114 for one, and a couple of wickets fell early on. And that's where, when Waqas Ahmed, the captain, walked in, should have taken a bit more responsibility. They were going along really well. In the 10th over, they were 10 plus run rate. That's when they should have thought, right, the spinners are in operation. Let's milk them. Let's hit them in those gaps. Get those ones and twos. Maybe not every batter has to go for those big shots from the first ball onwards. I feel they may have missed a trick there. Every batter that walked in, probably getting excited by seeing what happened earlier, wanted to repeat what the opening batters wanted to do or did there, and paid the price by losing the wickets one after the other. Mohammad Yasir will be a happy captain, although he's not bowling very happily. Couple of wides now in this over, but the way this team was going, the way this innings was going, it's looking much better for Emirates NBD now.
Yeah, they made a comeback, really nice one in the end of the inning almost. By doing this, you might save 15 runs, and that's where you will have the fighting game. What a cracker of the matches we had. Even yesterday, there was a brilliant game, and all this at ICCA Academy, what the Arabian Cricket League, that what we are witnessing is getting interesting with every game. Driven handsomely, there is a fielder. So I would agree with you on your point of view that the batter has taken a lot of rush in the approach. They were trying to hit big, maybe getting tempted to see the already runs on the board. They need to make it even bigger. They lost wicket. That did not work. The attack did not work. So immediately, the other thing is you need to do is get onto the back foot. You don't need to go and smash every delivery that comes your way.
Yeah, the tone was set by Uzair Haider early on. He was maximizing the power play, getting those boundaries off the loose deliveries. He's the kind of batter who likes to go big, and what happens is once you've passed that power play stage, yes, if you have a set batter, he can go on to play those big shots because now he has his eye in. He can clear those boundaries. But if you're a new batter coming in after the power play, you have to take some time. Watch, look what the bowler is doing, figure out the field placements. But what we saw was blind hitting really, and that sort of led to the downfall of these innings of Dubai Gymkhana. There's a slight delay here. I think the umpires want to take a look at the ball, maybe gone out of shape. It will be a change of the ball. Good time for the bowlers to regather, regroup. They'll be happy with what they've done so far. They want to finish well here. Again, they don't want to allow another one of these batters to finish strong and get close to that 200.
Agreed with you. So the ball needs to go through that patch. One he need to pass and one he should not cross. Well, I had spent a little time yesterday with Iftikhar Ali, so you can ask me any question. But it's just one day that I have spent with him. What a class he is! A great man to have around. He's been witnessing the game and being the match referee for almost every game that we have here. I got few tips and I got few knowledge from the experienced international umpire.
Always a pleasure talking to Iftikhar Ali. He's an absolute wonderful character to have around. You can have a conversation with him that you just don't feel the time passing, don't you? He's always got something interesting to say. He speaks about games that happen on the domestic level, on the international stage. Always has good value to add, and that's what you learn from seniors like them. Right then, Yasir. Well, Raji's protection on the offside, so there will just be a single, and it's a smart bowling tactic there. That's got a long on, a deep extra cover, third man, so even the edges are protected here. And on the leg side, there's a long on, in fact, a deep mid wicket. So a fine leg is up. He's not allowing the batter to go there because he's bowling on the offside.
I think he's bowling according to the plan. That's nothing wrong. He's bowling a little too wide, giving the width. This one is a better one. If you're bowling at that line or length, you need to nip in a little bit, maybe with the angle.
And they won't mind these singles at all. It's just those boundaries they want to control and stop. They went quite for quite a few boundaries in the beginning of the innings, especially courtesy Uzair Haider, who went really aggressive at the top. But since then, no batter has been able to settle down. But thanks largely to the spinners of Emirates. And now Mohammad Yasir looking to finish that job. Yeah, I said he'll try and go there because that's the only area that's not protected, fine leg being up. So Syed Hasnain getting down on one knee and more importantly making a good connection off the bat over the field at fine leg.
A beautiful connection. Let's have a look. He shuffled there knowing that the fine leg is up, and he targeted that area and it came and worked really well. Smart batting there. He's keeping close eye on the field. That's what you need to do when you want to get the boundaries. For the sixes, the maximum, you can go anywhere.
Yeah, on this track, the batters, they like pace onto the bat. They can work with that pace, and that's exactly what Syed Hasnain did there. We saw how when the spinners came on, it was a struggle all of a sudden. So Yasir will have to be smart here, bring in those variations off cutters. Again he chooses that shot, and again it's over the fine leg fielder. So this is very good batting from Syed Hasnain. He's trying to bring back that momentum for Dubai Gymkhana, and again that 200 looks very much possible. So spoilt what was going to be a good over by Mohammad Yasir.
Well, I think you saw the game yesterday very closely. Surya Kumar Yadav, eat your heart out. It's 18 gone, 186 for 7.
Santosh Pillai is back into the attack to finish his 4 overs. And that'll be a good fielding effort there down at long off. Suddenly the fielding effort has really picked up here from Emirates NBD. They dropped a couple of sitters early on, but ever since then, it's been good commitment by the fielders, especially down at the boundary lines. This is good. Awkward bounce, but managed to hold on to it.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Santosh Pillai gets 5. This over is very crucial for him. The moment you get 2 overs on the first 2 overs, I think you're on a hunt.
That's cut away. Again, the field at point will cut it off. A close call, but no, in the end they make it comfortably. If he does pick up a 5, whichever branch of Emirates NBD he works at, it's going to be glowing tomorrow. He's going to go to every desk and tell them I picked up a 5 wickets last night.
Well, I'm sure the HR must be sending everyone the email that what he has done. So everyone will be knowing. It's lovely when you play for your corporate team. So you feel glad when you walk on the morning in the office. Really, certainly a big credit to these all the teams that was participated in this Arabian Cricket League, and they made it look really well, and they have some professional players. I mean, yeah, they do work, but they really play well.
Yeah, it's good on the part of all these corporates to take interest in the game and really set up a team and make them participate in these tournaments. That's been cut away again. He's a fielder down there, so just another single. And the good thing about the cricket that is played in this part of the world, at least what's impressed me the most, is the diversity that you see in here. You have Pakistanis, Indians, Sri Lankans, South Africans, so many different nationalities playing together, learning from each other, raising their standards, and amazing facilities like these where you really get to express yourself, express your talent.
We're lucky enough also to have
hit down the ground. That should clear the fence, and it does. Ever so slightly. But Syed Hasnain will take that. He's been good behind the wicket, in front of the wicket. He's been really good at his finishing, applying those finishing touches for Dubai Gymkhana.
penultimate over. You have no choice but attack. This time width was in offer and sailed just over the boundary line. Not a big one, but the one which matters. You get 6 runs. What else you need?
24 of 9 now for Syed Hasnain. He's the one who played those 2 paddle shots. Very successful, and now he goes down the ground. Santosh Pillai here, trying to be a bit selfish to try and pick up that wicket, probably erring in length, giving away those freebies. Can he make it 5? Not the best line to bowl if you want to pick up a wicket. In fact, Syed Hasnain has played a really good shot there. Didn't try to pull it. Just made sure he brought his bat down on time and played it fine off the fielder. Another boundary to finish the over.
Well, 10 balls, 28. What else? What a great shot. It has been years that I haven't seen this shot. I think last time I saw that it was in some test game. What a good shot that is. And 200 comes up. It's 6 deliveries to go. 7 down.
Mohammad Yasir will finish off the innings. He has gone for a few, but he'll back himself to try and keep this over quiet. They have gone past that 200 mark, which will be a psychological win for Dubai Gymkhana. Always a mammoth total to chase whenever it passes 200. They're looking good for much bigger, but they've sort of clawed their way to that mark.
They had a bit of a hamdung up in between the game when they lost wickets. That collapse is being prevented now. These two guys making a good looking partnership, Hasnain and Adnan, a 32 runs partnership in the final over in process, and they look settled. Makes room, gets the Chinese cut, and they'll be only single.
A good yorker there by Mohammad Yasir. That's where you want to be in the last over of the innings. You don't want to give length, you don't want to be full. Almost a yorker for that matter. He played it on the full, always converted into a full toss. Hasnain, and in fact Yasir will be happy that they got the single because Adnan Qaisar is on strike. He'll try to keep him quiet here on this end.
200 is already a mark where you want to be. Slightly over 200 would be really difficult to chase. Oh, full toss, wide, and straight to the fielder. That's a dismissal for Adnan. He just played away from the body and lost his wicket.
Yeah, came too slow to him. He was very early onto that shot, almost getting the toe end of the bat, and that fielder down there, Lahiru Malwatta, has done some amazing work this evening. He's patrolled that boundary, stopped the boundaries, taken the catches, and this time he runs in to take a comfortable catch there, that of Adnan Qaisar. So another wicket falls. He goes for 10 off 10. Three balls to go in this innings. 203 for 8. Mohammad Sihan comes in to face the last 3 deliveries here from Mohammad Yasir. Oh, that's a fancy looking shot, isn't it? Short ball there by Mohammad Yasir. I think the umpire may have called it a wide. No, in fact, he signals his hand up to say that it's a bye. And our scorer here obliging and agreeing with the umpire. 204 now.
Well, I like the understanding between these two. The moment Sihan came and said that Hasnain must have spoken to him very clearly that no matter what we need to run, and that's what exactly happened. He left his crease when the bowler has delivered.
It's another very good delivery by Mohammad Yasir. Just a single there. So finishing off well over here, even though he's gone for a few innings over. Do you see a lot of non-striker run-outs here? I don't want to call it that word because it's supposed to be not used anymore. But do you get a lot of non-striker run-outs in this region?
No. I think most of what I personally feel is that yes, as you go for the low, that's allowed. You can do, but the gentlemen here has been absolutely brilliant.
See, you contradict yourself when you call them gentlemen. So are you saying that the one who does it is not a gentleman? That's why you're. So again, that confusion between whether it's in the spirit of the game or not. Well, if you ask me, it's perfectly normal. Oh, look at that for innovation. Full toss. Sihar had decided yesterday that he's going to play over there, and that full toss made things very, very easy for him. So a boundary to finish things off for Dubai Gymkhana. They were going along very well at the top of the innings, looked good for easily about 240, a little bit of a wobble in the center, in the middle order not firing so much, but Syed Hasnain has done really well to bring that impetus back into this innings. They've managed to get to a 209, which in the context of this tournament, yes, they will be comfortable, but they can't afford to be complacent.
Well, he played some heroic knock today, Sayyid Hasnain Raza. But the top order, Uzair Haider delivers every time you give him a responsibility. 31 deliveries and scoring 70. That's something fabulous. What a start they got, because courtesy that great start and just giving it a perfect touch in the end. Sayyid Hasnain Raza has done the job which was required. He scored 30 of 12.
He'll be asking for a promotion the next time they go out to bat. But the bowlers, fast bowlers, going for quite a few. Muhammad Yasir, Akhlaq, Haider, all of them. Mubashir, Bukhari. But it was the spin trio of Charuka, Santosh and Vaibhav. Especially Vaibhav really picking up those 2 wickets. And then Santosh came in and picked up 3 wickets. Those figures don't justify the way he's bowled this evening. Charuka too stitched together a few dot balls along with Vaibhav Sim, created that pressure, and that's what led to that middle order rut from Dubai Gymkhana. 11 extras, they will want to work on that, but it's the middle, those wickets number 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, that's what will bother Dubai Gymkhana as they go on in this tournament.
Well, that's the target set. They need to score 10.5 run every over when they come in to bat. That's the target set by Emirates NBD Cricket Club. We'll see the reply of Dubai Gymkhana in a while when we come back. Stay tuned.
Well, good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the ICC Academy Oval number 2 for the SkyX.net ICC Academy Arabian Cricket League 2022-2023, powered by FanCode. It's match number 23 in progress. And news from the center is that Emirates NBD are chasing a mighty 210 against Dubai Gymkhana. It was Uzair Haider and Syed Ashad, the openers, who set the platform. 114-run opening stand, but then the innings really fell away thanks to some brilliant spin bowling from NBD. And so they have given themselves half a chance for another big run chase. They did chase 200 plus in the first game, and now they have to do it again. Tashfeen Yassin with the new ball, and it's going to be Abid Ibrahim alongside me in the com box. Pulled away, over square leg, thundering into the boundary. Welcome, Abid.
What a great welcome that is from you and Mohammad Shahir. Bang on target. The first ball he goes for attack. He gets the looseness, the eyes get lit up. And one of the safest plays to put out, no fielder covering that square leg region. And he gets 4 runs. What a great start.
Yeah, he's more towards deep mid wicket, that fielder on the leg side. Tashfeen doesn't quite have that pace to bowl at that length. He has to be a lot fuller. Usually very consistent with the new ball for Dubai Gymkhana. And Shahir has launched him towards that mid-wicket fielder, and he's grabbed it. Well, that's a major disappointment. Mohammad Shehan takes the catch, and it's the big fish departing for Emirates NBD.
Well, at times it's work, at times it doesn't. Certainly today was one option, and it was attack, and he certainly did that. Connected well, but did not get the distance. It was Shehan, difficult to beat. He came underneath it nicely and takes the catch. It's a first wicket, and I tell you, that would be a long walk for Mohammad Shahir. He looked positive, but couldn't deliver on the day. It's 4 for 1.
New batter in his Charuka Raveen. Stylish, tall, left-hand batter. Bowled really well with his right arm off spin, so he's ambidextrous. But they need him to get some runs under his belt tonight. Oh, that's a peach of a delivery from Tashfeen. Now he's found the right areas on this pitch. Slightly fuller length, and he's just getting it to nip around under lights.
Well, the sooner you get a wicket, you get a lot of confidence. Tashfeen certainly got one, and that was a big fish. Mohammad Shahir, the right man to take out, and now you have the game in control. But never forget what a match we had witnessed yesterday.
Oh, outside hedge, just flies past that point fielder. If there had been a gully catcher, Tashfeen would have been in business. So Charuka, not convincing, but will get off the mark.
A bit of a verbal there. If there was a fielder, he could have gone. Well, now we expect the game gets slow a little bit, but what my concern is, I don't mind the game gets slower, but yes, do not lose wickets anymore. The wickets are very crucial.
Absolutely. The ball will slide onto the bat. There is plenty of dew out there. The Gymkhana bowlers, especially the spinners, will have a tough time. They will need every single one of these 210 runs, I feel. Hamad pulls it away towards deep square, and Shehan, well, you can see that greasy ball already creating problems. 1 becomes 2.
The dew has a role to play. The better you bowl in these overs, the first power play clearly favors the bowlers. Well, It meant to be favoring the batter.
Flick towards cow corner, and it hits the gap and it hits the fence. Nicely manufactured shot there by Hamad Ahmed.
Well, there you go. He shuffled a little bit and flicked it on the right area. Nicely lofted shot to get a 4 runs and end of the over 11 for 1.
Mohammad Sehan, the left arm spinner, outside edge, flashed over the slip cordon by Charuka. Another boundary.
Well, it's a great start. The soon you get a boundary on a very first delivery. And look at that. Flighted and too full, but a good delivery. The second slip could have got a wicket for him.
I like the plan to use the spinners early though from Gymkhana. As long as the ball is hard, maintains its shape. They're getting through the overs of Sehan, but he needs to bowl well here. Beats the outside edge. Is he bowling leg break here? That's the grip that I can see, Abid.
Yeah, mixing up, I think. Because it's a left-hander and he just darted, and that would be easier for him. So maybe he's trying to trick him. Yeah. Oh, what a delivery. Beautifully bowled.
Well, he certainly has wonderful control of it. Just look at that wrist position. Yeah, he's trying to rip it across the left-hander's off stump. Just beats the outside edge. Beautiful bowling here.
Oh, big shout, big shout, big shout. Umpire, raise the finger. That's a wicket, much deserving. Sehan takes the big wicket here.
Well, what a cricketer he is. Anything you require of him, he will deliver. A catch in the outfield, and now a huge wicket. Charuka trying to force it off the back foot, and that's a very good grab by Syed Hasnan behind the stumps. Dubai Gymkhana, 2 early wickets. That's just what the doctor ordered. 15 for 2. So 2 early blows to Emirates NBD. Lahiru Malwatta is the new batter in. I'm getting lessons in Sinhalese from our co-commentator Samir Yunus. I think I've failed gloriously, but meanwhile, Lahiru, he needs to get big runs tonight, Abid.
Yeah, Lahu sounds really good.
Yeah, that's a lot easier. I recognize those letters. Mohammad Sehan, wonderful bowling so far. Flighted beautifully, and look at that commitment. Almost made the stop there.
Well, I tell you what, Khwaja, no matter how long your name is and how difficult it is, once you perform good, Everybody remembers that.
Well, the best example of that is Mr. WPUJC Vas. You must have all seen that clip of former England coach David Lloyd saying his full name. And why not? What a champion he was. Absolute legend of Sri Lankan and world cricket, I would say. Oh, almost hit the pad there. And Sehan goes for a tumble. I hope he's alright. Oh, this could be a big moment in the game. I think he's done his shoulder in. Needs some medical assistance. Let's take a look here. He's just trying to stop that single. And yeah, must have just pulled his shoulder there. Needs to be put back in place. 17 for 2. Well, I think he's dislocated his shoulder there. Mohammad Sehan, good to see him on his feet. Hopefully he'll be back in action soon. Just that shock of getting the injury. It felt serious, but he looks all right now. And thankfully, good to see him back in commission. Wonderful cricketer he is. The young, energetic Sri Lankan. A key player for Gymkhana, in fact. So more headaches for Waqas Ahmed Khan, the number 6. And the captain of Gymkhana.
The game is getting slightly delayed just because that problem with the Mohammad Sehan. You're injured there and the umpire is a little frustrated because the entire team came to send him off. He should have had one player to bring him up, but that slight delay. The umpires are very cautious there, taking care of every single minute. So the late you make, at the end of the game, you might get yourself in trouble because of the new rule. The fifth fielder comes inside the ring. Yeah, you can afford to do it now, but in the later evening when this game gets into the crunch position, where every single run matters, we'll definitely see a little bit of a frustration there when if you delay behind the time.
Meanwhile, the action about to resume. Tashfeen Yassin, as always, steady, dependable, wicket taker as well. 17 for 2 at the end of 2 overs for Emirates NBD. And Sihan had just picked up a wicket as well. Desperately unlucky, the young chap. Here comes Tashfeen. Outside edge, over the short third. Streaky, but they all count for Hamad Ahmed.
Well, they desperately need run. It's huge total on board. Well, look at that. It's getting outside edge and flung over the fielder. The third was in. That could have stopped if the third man was behind, but some bad news for Gymkhana, Dubai Gymkhana here. Sehan has just dislocated his finger.
Yeah, we just saw it up close. Certainly needs medical assistance, and he's heading out of the academy. Get well soon. That will have him out of action for a few weeks for sure. Coming into Hamad there, nicely bowled by Tashfeen. He does hit the seam very regularly. Not getting that swing that we associate with him, but he does get that ball to nip around. I remember a beautiful inducker he bowled a couple of matches ago to get Taranga Jayasena. That was a gem of a delivery. Oh, it's gone straight up. There's nobody there at extra though. Fielders herring after it, and it will land. Good chase by the mid-off fielder, and Hamad is very lucky there.
Yeah, the kind of the day you're not finding the fielders outside, but you're risking yourself. Yes, it's a desperation of runs. You can clearly see the intentions are very clear. They want to attack and utilize this power play.
Yeah, the right idea, not quite the execution. You have to be very careful against Tashfeen Yassin. His 3 overs, usually very miserly, and picks up wickets as well. Not an easy bowler to counter-attack. Apish, but they'll take a single to mid-off.
Well, I tell you, it's a 20 overs game. If it was slightly longer format, you might have seen a wicket there, because Hamad Ahmed is just playing from the slide of the bat. Least they bother about the ball is in the air or not. If it was a longer format, you might have that fielder up at the covers, slightly close to the batter. That could have given a wicket to Tashfeen Yassin.
Yeah, they can afford to attack here. Opposition 24 for 2. Why not have a catching extra cover, maybe a gully fielder or a first slip? Nicely glided by Lahru. Stylish player, easy on the eye. And they need somebody in the top 4 to get big runs, play an innings of 75-80 maybe.
Yeah, one should stick around. That's what happened with Sehan. He tried to get the ball, and that's where he's put his finger on the ground and kept on rolling.
And it was his bowling hand as well. That's the major concern. Using that index finger. Oh, big swish at that from Hamad. I like the idea though. He's trying to use his feet against Tashfeen, trying to create a new angle. But that will conclude an excellent over. Only 8 off it, 25 for 2. Mohammad Adil into the attack. Right arm fast. Beautiful flowing drive, but straight to extra. Adnan Kaisar. Well, now that Mohammad Sehan is out of commission, this man on screen, the left arm spinner, he'll have a very pivotal role, I feel. And they will need some overs from somewhere. Maybe Syed Asher will turn his arm over. Bowls a bit of medium pace. Certainly plenty of headaches for the skipper, Waqas Ahmed Khan. Sehan was one of his key bowlers in the middle overs especially. Even worked in the power play tonight. In swinger, just off the pad. So now that Mohammad Siraj got dismissed on the second ball of the innings, who will be the aggressor in the power play? If you're hunting a score of 210, you need at least 50 plus runs in the power play, Abid.
Well, what we witnessed yesterday was something special. A game where you got a score of 156 and you are 3 down at the score of 9 in past 5 overs, and then you come back and do the chase and by sparing few deliveries.
Incredible match that was. Ali Tipu and Muhammad Salman for Gems Education. Sparkling performance. Once again, big in swing for Adil. So if you can get it right, start from that 5th stump channel, pardon me, you might be in business.
Well, definitely, Khwaja, I do agree with you that, but somebody has to play a knock that's similar that Ali Tipu played yesterday, and you can talk about that inning years and years post your career. You can tell the young boys how I stood tall and how I chased the score, and you're being really lucky that you're playing these games. All are on track, live audience watching you, and you can watch that video whenever you want.
Pulled away. Mid-on will clean it up with his feet. Clearly, he's getting ready for the FIFA World Cup. Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of live viewers on the CricTracker channel in YouTube, on Fan Code in India, and of course, the ICC Academy Facebook page itself. Plenty of buzz and interest about the ICC Academy events.
Well, the matches over here has been something really, really special. A few of the games that I wouldn't be forgetting the whole my life. Just yesterday's game, and there has been a clinical defense from
Down
the
the leg side once again. He's not controlling that in swing. Needs to start from much more outside off. Absolutely, yesterday the performance by Gems Education, and then Muhammad Wasim on his domestic comeback with an incredible 50. Chock full of sixes and big ones. 90 meter, 100 meter sixes all over the place. Good to see him back, the superstar of UAE.
Yeah, few of those crackers I heard way back in Ajman. It was huge hits from Mohammad Wasim. What a class player he is.
Absolutely incredible. Drilled towards mid-off. That's the right area. And good length as well. Hamad Ahmed looking to be positive. I think he needs to try to go over the offside ring. Been a steady over from Adil. Besides that, only 3 runs off the bat. Some leg buys in there. 181 needed of 97. Required run rate is already above 11. So they need a big partnership here. They did really well to fight back and reduce the score to 209. Excellent bowling by the spinners. Hooked away. And that's heading to the comb box right on top of us. Watch out, Abid Ibrahim.
Well, I was looking for the guard while Samir was looking to catch it. And a lot happening here at the comb box.
Beautiful shot there. Went with it. And bang, there we are. And Samir Yunus, why were you hiding for cover? You're behind 15 millimeters of glass. Goodness me, 35 for 2 at the end of 4. Tashfeen down the leg side. Well, you don't expect him to give free runs, freebies like that. Shami maybe. Wonderful to see him at the ICCA Academy. One of the top umpires in the UAE.
Well, the best part about Shami maybe is that he's hungry to learn. These new rules have put umpires on a shock. A lot of rules has been changed, and this man is really working hard on that. Some hard working.
Nice drive. Sayyid Ashar at extra cover. Just about cuts it out. Current run rate of 8.6. Certainly, they need to capitalize on the final couple of overs in power play. 11 deliveries remaining to be precise. And Lahiru, 3 of 6. He's timing the ball well. But perhaps need to take a couple of risks.
Well, Hamad is absolutely fine. He's playing around 200 strike rate. Oh, this is where you need to be as a bowler. This is where you will get that outside edge, or you might get a backwards point region in the business.
I'd really like to see a catching extra cover or a first slip for Tashfeen here. He's just making that ball misbehave off the wicket. One more wicket here for Gymkhana might break the back of the Emirates NBD batting. Trying to clear his front leg, only hit away towards mid-off.
Yeah, that's a smart move there from Sayyid Ashar, that he's standing way back at that 30-yard circle. It was Waqas, pardon me. He's now pushed back towards the mid-off. Well, he's mid-off for Lehru, but not for Hamad Ahmed. So some smart fielding.
Yeah, this is the 4th match of the Arabian Cricket League, so they've certainly spent a lot of time here. They know the dimensions of the ground better than the opposition. Slapped over cover point. That was asking to be hit. Not gonna touch the fence, is it? Yeah, he keeps it in. And they need to push for 3 here. Yeah, good running, good intent from Lahiru. He forced Hamad to come back for the 3rd.
Yeah, you got to run for every single run. That's supposed to be traveling there. The outfield is lightning fast. I feel that it was not timed so well, and I think that was clean. Is it clean? Is it? Oh no, that's 4. I think that's some lovely camera work there.
Rightly given, eagle-eyed Shami maybe. He can see it all the way to deep cover from his umpire's position, and the right call is made. Good work. And Hamad Ahmed, like you mentioned, he's just chipping away, getting those boundaries here and there, keeping Gymkhana on the back foot.
Well, what I like about the umpire, that he did not call it early. So you don't have to reverse his decision.
Oh, this time over extra cover. Hamad Ahmed has launched this all the way for a maximum.
Well, he's doing the right thing. He's getting the boundaries no matter which ball it is. He's looking for the looseness slightly here or there on the length of the line. And that was not a bad ball, but it was extraordinary shot from Hamad. What a beautiful shot.
Absolutely, he created that length by stepping up to it. That's a brilliant hit. He is looking dangerous. New balls, please. Right then, final over of the 5th over. Outside edge, and Tashween, frustration for him. Where was the slip fielder? I was asking for it, Abid.
Well, I think you need a Superman or the Spider-Man at the slip scorer to catch that one. That was just slightly over, but I think you made a point there. There should have been a slip fielder. Attack is the key here when you're defending a big total. It's 5 overs done, 51 for 2. Well, Mohammad Adil bowling his second over, and what a beautiful delivery that was. And out, that was me going down the leg side to tell us more about it. And joining me in the comm box is someone who got a brilliant experience. Samir, welcome to the comm box.
Thank you, Abid. Good first ball there by Mohammad Adil. He's bowled well. In fact, Dubai Gymkhana in general have bowled well, except for that last over where Hamad Ahmed really decided to cut loose. 35 or 14 for him now. Remember, they're chasing a massive 209, 158 to get off 89 now. The difference a bit between the two bowling sides is that Emirates, when they were bowling, yes, they were finding that swing and movement, but they didn't have the pace to trouble the batters. Although Dubai Gymkhana, they have that. That's an asset they have, and they need to make use of it.
Well, when you talk about pace, well, it's always pro and cons with it. Oh, this one slightly high. And I think Hamad is just throwing the kitchen sink at everything coming his way. That's a leg bias given by the umpire. The second leg bias, so he's bowling absolutely in a good line and length and getting some target and swing as well. So you asked about the pace. I think the pace is also decent.
Yeah, that's why he missed that ball, didn't he? Lahiru Malwata looking to swivel and play that pull shot, but it got to him much faster than he would have liked. In fact, that wasn't Lahiru Malwata, it was Hamad Ahmed. He gets off strike now. Lahiru gets on strike. Now he's gone slow, Lahiru, the Sri Lankan. 4 of 9 for him, so he'll have to get a move on here. The required run rate is above 10, so they need to look for a boundary every over and then get those singles to make sure they are on par with that required run rate. That's been hammered. But it's straight to the fielder's hands.
Well, the reason is that was a toe end of the bat. Not getting it right. It was so close to it. Well, that man, Rahman Gul, has a role to play, let me tell you. He's a fantastic all-rounder. He'll come in to bowl when the pressure gets high. But I think I must give the credit to Hamad. He's fighting. He's battling with the bowlers.
He's brought that momentum back for Emirates NBD. There was a time they lost those quick 2 wickets and it looked like they were almost getting bowled out of the game. But 53 or 5.3, they are on par with that run rate. Just need to make sure that they go on now. This needs to be a big partnership for Emirates NBD. Oh, swing and a miss again. That pace of Mohammad Adil. Lahiru really not coming to terms with it. Looking to stand and just punch that off his back foot, but getting nowhere close to it.
And I tell you what, they are battling. And the battle is to keep that required run rate down. You can see that it's just slightly over from the current run rate, but they're managing to get the boundaries in the final deliveries. That has been the case all over the game. The final 2 deliveries where the bowler gets slightly tired and he messes with the line and length and they attack him. But one thing is for sure, while you're chasing a big total, you need to get the boundaries early.
Intensity is everything, isn't it, for fast bowlers to maintain that throughout the over. Again, swing and a miss. It's much easier to talk about intensity sitting inside the comm box in the comfort of an air conditioner, but when you're out there in the heat of Dubai, even in the evenings, it gets quite heaty, doesn't it? Bowling in with that extra space, never easy.
Really, you put me on a very hot position there. Yeah, well, I've been yourself as you played the first class cricket in Sri Lanka, which is a big thing. You have a plenty of experience. A nation that plays test game, and you played the first class. You know a lot about the game, but yes, it is. When you go inside the ground, the feelings are different. You forget about what is going surrounding.
Absolutely, Abid. On point there. Last ball of the over. Can he finish well? Again, that's very good pace. Clyro clearly unable to make any sort of connection whatsoever, and that pace of Muhammad Adil has really troubled him. So brilliant over, just 2 leg byes of it. Dubai Gymkhana slowly pulling it back now. Emirates at 53 for 2 at the end of 6.
Well, there you go. That's the man we were talking about earlier. The man in blue. It's Mr. Iftikhar Ali, the former international umpire. Gets a huge fan following. I'm a big fan of him. Let me tell you, Samir.
Yeah, we were just talking about him earlier, between me, myself and Ahmed. Always a lovely conversation with Mr. Iftikhar Ali. What a wise man, what a humble gentleman. He's always up for a chat, whether it's about the game, whether it's about things other than the game. Always good to have a little conversation with him. Lots of wisdom to be extracted. Uzair Haider did all the damage with the batting, but can he create some damage with the bowling? He starts off with a wide.
Well, they got a very good bowling in the middle. When Uzair and Mohammad Adil gets, they use the pace, they use the swing. But what I think is that you might try them with the new ball where you have Tashween, and nothing taking away from Tashween. But these bowlers might be slightly troublemaking with the new ball in the hand.
Yeah, we'll wait and see what Uzair Haider can do. So Muhammad Adil clearly making the batters very uncomfortable with his express pace. Can Uzair Haider complement him? Oh, that's been cut away up in the air over the field, that extra cover. That'll go to 1 bounce into the fence. So Ahmad Ahmed cutting loose once again, and that early boundary of the bowling of Uzair Haider.
Well, that's what you need to do. The previous over, absolutely nothing. There was no supply, but this one, uppercut, and that flung. What a shot. That is huge. And just getting over the boundary line. That's a maximum. Yes, 6 runs. Much needed 6 here. Ahmad is playing a knock of his life.
Long hair, big hands, those big muscles coming into play. All the makings of a strong hitter of the ball. This time he gets down on one knee, drives that, but straight to the field and Bidon, who's let it go through. But will he be able to rein it back? Yes, he can. So, should have been no runs, ended up being 2 runs.
Well, these are the silly mistakes that you need to make. You need to cover it up. Waqas there, the fielder, got a good toe end of the bat. They try to make, that's when you don't cover it up. You need your body behind the ball. That's the basic.
He did get his body behind, but the mistake there was that his foot wasn't joining the knee. And when you're putting your body behind the ball, your foot and the knee have to close that gap in between your 2 legs, so that even if your hands miss the ball, your foot or your knee stop it. Guided away to point. Good bowling there by Uzair Haider. Good comeback after getting hit for that 6.
Yeah, well, what I like about the attack of Ahmad, that he got that boundary early. Now, despite now you got a 6 runs on a very first delivery, the remainers, if you just tuck around, take singles or doubles, you'll still make that over big one.
And that's been the weakness between both these innings, hasn't it? Even Dubai Gymkhana, they got off to a flyer with a few boundaries, but we didn't see those singles, the rotation of the strike between 2 batters. Every batter wanted to come and just swing hard. What we didn't see was the constant scoreboard ticking, just 1s and 2s hitting in the gaps. And Emirates too, making the same mistake. This time it got big on him. Good bounce there by Uzair Haider. Really got big on Hamad Ahmed, but he's able to cross over for a single, so does rotate the strike on this occasion. Lahiru needs to get a move on from here. Look at the bouncer again.
Yeah, look at that extra bounce. Yeah, that troubled Hamad, and that also got into him as well. But he negotiated really well from that level. Rightly said that. Played 13 deliveries, scored only 4 runs. That's not how when you're chasing over 200.
Somebody remind him this is not a 5-day game. It's a T20. You need to get a move on, son. Lahiru Malbatta. He's heard us, hasn't he? Goes for the big expansive shot, but he only gets as far as the fielder at long off. So just a single.
Yeah, well, that Madoff was being pushed back. There you go. You see Wakas, and behind him, sitting relaxed, is our co-commentator, Ahmed Khwaja. They're watching the game closely. Loves the game, isn't he?
Yeah, big passion. Always here, behind the mic, entertaining the crowds, calling the game, adding much value, much needed value. There he is. Knows everyone. He knows everyone with cricket in cricket at UAE. Let's cut away for a single. I feel it will take some time to get to it, but the batters don't capitalize. So end of 7. A decent over from Uzair Haider. 65 for 2. Muhammad Adnan Qaisar, the leggy, brought into the attack to try and pick up a wicket here. 65 for 2 off 7. They're on course, chasing the target of 210. Yes, it's been a slow start, but they've managed to pick things up courtesy of Hamad Ahmed, who's on a 45 of just 20. Repeating the heroics of Uzair Haider that did all the batting for Dubai Gymkhana. That's nicely been driven away off his knee, and that will beat the fielder. No, in fact it does. Bit of footwork there by the fielder at deep extra cover. Thought he had it in, but unfortunately the ball trickled over the boundary line. A 4 to begin this over of Adnan Qaisar.
Yeah, the ball nicely travelling and teasing. I should have banned it down. Yeah, it's always risky when you use your feet. But this man would be really happy about the results. 49 of 21 deliveries. What else you ask?
And look at that pose when he stands like that. An intimidating figure to any bowler. That's nicely done. Driven in the gap, gets to his 50, and a fine 50 this has been from Hamad Ahmed. What an important timely knock here by Hamad Ahmed for his team, Emirates NBD. Raises his bat, and he knows he's not done yet. If Emirates NBD are to try and chase this target down, he will be the key batter. He needs to bat on and make sure that he sees them through in the end. 3 sixes and 4 fours for his well-compiled 50 here.
It's nicely. That's will not get quite easily. It's a leg spinner, and I think leg spinner has a major role to play here. A 50 for Hamad. But what a great knock this is. Someone should stand along with him. Lehru should go and say, look man, let's dig in. Let's put a big partnership.
Yeah, he doesn't need to do that really, Ahirum Albatta. Yes, he's going at a very slow pace, but all he had to do is get bat on ball. No need to go for those big shots. Yes, Hamad is doing all of that. You just get off strike. Give the man in form all the strike. And they're really going to miss the rest of the overs of Mohammad Sihan. He was bowling really well up front in that power play. And those 2 overs that they lost of him might just be quite costly for Dubai Gymkhana. We hope he's doing all right though. He's gone to check up on that finger of his. Drop shot, cut away. This time it beats the fielder. So he tried that a couple of times, went straight to the fielder, but this time he hit it hard enough. And there's no time for the fielder at point to dive over that and stop it. Another boundary for Hamad Ahmed.
Well, look at that. You waited. That's what is the key here. The more you wait for against the leg spinner, when you understand if it's the wrong one or the one which is turning away. Well, he must be proud wearing that helmet, and that helmet has been really deserving on his shoulders or in his head.
Yeah, a few Indian batters now on some serious form. Reminds you of Sky Suryakumar Yadav hitting the ball with some excellence. Looks to sweep, it goes up, but there is no fine leg, so he won't mind. Third man is giving chase. He's managing, if he does manage to stop that from going to the boundary. So another couple for Hamad Ahmed here. They've run well, these two. Couple of boundaries in this over, yes, without too much risk. They've gone on and gotten 10 runs off this over. In fact, they've gotten 12 runs off this over. So 8 overs done, 77 for 2. So another new bowler being introduced, Rahman Gul, man of some reputation. He will try now to break this partnership that is looking dangerous now for Dubai Gymkhana. They picked up a couple of early wickets, but from then on, it's been the Hamad Ahmed show. 56 of 24 of him, Lahiru Malwatta will look to try and get off strike and give this informed batter the strike. Single off the first delivery.
Well, that's what I think the plan is, to give Lahiru Malwatta. Just hang around and take single and let Hamad do the damage, and Hamad is keeping that required run rate in check, not letting it pass to over 11, but is just being around. I tell you, the late in the evening we get, the better it will be for the batters.
You're already seeing those towels out, so already becoming difficult for the bowlers to grip the ball. Lots of dew out here. Again, cut away. It's such a risk, isn't it? In this T20 format, you want to protect your boundaries. So if you're going to be short on that offside length, these batters, mind you, very strong wrists they possess. So anything short outside the off stump, it will get cut away. And unless you have protection there, which is a very difficult area to have fielders in the deep, it's always going to go for a 4. Again, this time it's straight to the fielder. So Hamad really hitting it hard, but failing to find the gap. They do run away for a single off that misfield, which brings Lahiru Malwatta on strike. It's been a good over so far by Rahman Gul. Batters have mostly found the fielders.
Rahman is doing a very good job here. Those 3 deliveries has absolutely been on target. All he has to do, carry through. The singles are not hurting here.
Pulled away. That might just be in the gap. Yes, it is. A bit of a lazy effort there from the fielder. I think it's Muhammad Adil there. Fails to bend down and stop that from his hand. Tried to put his foot there. We've seen a lot of it, but most times it hasn't been successful. So a much needed boundary for Lahiru Malwatta. He gets a move on.
Oh, that's not the way to stop the ball. You should need to bend down, or it's wet condition out there. You can easily dive and save the boundary. And also Adil is pretty young to do that. You don't have any excuse that.
Yeah, a bit of a disappointing show today from both sides. Yes, they've held on to their catches, but the ground fielding needs a lot of improvement. Again, Lahiru Malwatta looking for that big shot down the leg side. This time it goes straight to the fielder, so just a single. The run rate, again, current run rate is just under 10 for pin per over. They won't mind that. If they can continue this momentum up until the 15th, 16th over, pressure can do funny things to a bowling side, especially with these wet conditions. The ball not easy to grip, won't be easy to field. And then if they can keep those wickets, can take those risks later on.
Yeah, you got a boundary of the over. So they'll be happy at least they got close by. But I think it's Rahman Gul who has the last laugh because he got 8 runs only below than the required run rate. That's a plus point. 85 for 2.
Down the leg side, Hamad Ahmed choosing for the sweep option. He's a fielder down at deep square leg. Cut it off for a couple of runs. So they've run well between the wickets, these two. That's been one of the features of these partnerships. Yes, they've gone and played some of those big shots, but at the same time, they've hit it on in the gaps and made sure they've taken those ones and twos. Something that the Dubai Gymkhana middle order failed to do and fell away. Lost a few wickets in quick succession. Adnan Kaisar will continue.
Yeah, well, that's the area where I see the vacant. Yeah, that's where he want to be. Slightly more on the fine, and he might get the boundary. The sweep is a good idea to execute if he can get one.
He's got protection there. Deep fine leg, deep square leg, long on. So he doesn't mind bowling that straight wicket to wicket line. Generally, these batters are very strong on their on side. The risk is when he drifts on the off side. That's when they'll go aerial. Went big there. Will it go straight to the fielder? No, it doesn't. In fact, it goes over the line and onto the hills. A huge 6 for Lahirum Al-Batta. He'll enjoy that.
Well, you can't be too short against this man. All this time he was waiting for one loosener. And that 6 will give him a lot of confidence. And you might see him also, the other end also, getting that spark, and you need it much.
And he's batting with that open stance, almost clearing the left leg early on itself. So he knows all he needs to do is, as soon as it's short, just get onto that back foot, shift your weight and pull. And that's what he did quite perfectly there. Deposited that over the boundary line for a 6. Adnan Kaisar really struggling with that wet ball now. Already 8-9 runs off this over. He's got 3 more to go. Will want to finish well. Short outside the off stump this time. He's a fielder there who'll stop it. Ooh, he trips over Muhammad Adil. And they're able to cross over for a couple. So easy 2s being given away here in the field. They need to pick themselves up. Dubai Gymkhana, suddenly the body language not looking so good, not too positive. Lots of heads have dropped. They'll want to do something and pick up a wicket here. Break this partnership. If not, this game is running away from them.
Well, all of a sudden, we're talking about the partnership. They just crossed 80 runs. It's 81 runs partnership between the two. And this one is driven to the onside. But what I like about these two batters, they're not playing a lot of dot balls. They're just keeping that scoreboard ticking.
Yeah, Lahiru has realized that it's taken a bit too long to get to that 21 now. But now is the right time for him to step on the gas. They have the wickets. They've only lost 2 wickets in the first 10 overs. So perhaps it is now time to take those calculated risks and play some of those aggressive strokes. Hamad has done his part. He will continue doing what he's good at. Oh, tried to hit that really hard, but it went straight back over the bowler. It'll just be a single. So good over for the batting team there. It's 98 for 2 at the halfway mark.
Well, at Manhattan, you can see a few big towers there. A few really good over went in the middle. The occasion says that 60 bowls, 112 runs needed. We are on to another remarkable match, which is just cooking. We'll enjoy this game. Meanwhile, Samir Yunus takes the break. And joining me in the comm box, it's AZ. Welcome, Mehmet Khwaja.
Thank you very much, Abid. 112 in the last 10. I think they have the game in hand here, NBD. Lahiru Melwate, 21 of 22. Still hasn't quite gotten going. Rahman Gul giving us the replacement overs of Mohammad Sehan, who went off with a dislocated finger. They need 3 good overs from him, I feel. Maybe even more. Back cut, straight to point. Chance for a run out. Well, have to be careful, Lahiru. He was just striding out of his crease and, well, another injury concern. Has he tweaked a hammy there?
Well, just remember that the Gymkhana is one bowler short. Shahan got an injury there. You need to be careful. You cannot afford to lose any more.
This time, well, fancy footwork from Mohammad Shehzad. I think you need a slightly more active fielder in that region.
Well, I think it's clearly not every time the luck will save you, or these football skills will save those boundaries every time, because Ahmad is so good at playing the cut shot, and you need to be a little more sharp when you're fielding at the point region. You need to be proactive. Keep your eyes all the time onto the batter. That's uppish in the air, chance, and gone. That's a big wicket. Lahiru Malwatta departs here. The partnership has been broken, and that's what they were looking for, the Gymkhana.
Well, he was struggling to find his timing tonight, and finally just running out of patience. And nothing short, really. It got onto him slightly quicker than he would have hoped. Wanted to pull the ball, and Sayyid Asher makes no mistake. So an important moment in the game. Lahiru gone for 21, 99 for 3 in the 11th over. Vaibhav Singh coming in at number 5. Well, he was very impressive with the ball. Now need to see his batting skills. End of a long partnership, and NBD have to rebuild just at the wrong stage, just when they were looking to get going. As long as Hamad Ahmed is out there though, batting beautifully on 63. Tucked into mid-wicket, and Vaibhav will safely get off the mark. And Rahman Gul is doing a brilliant job here, Abid.
Well, he delivered. He's causing enough trouble. And meanwhile, they take 2. And 100 comes up. Maybe they're slightly behind. They should have been slightly 110, 115 by now. But I think Hamad being there down at the center, they might get it there. Because the later it gets, the difficult it is to grip the ball, because the dew is immense here.
Yeah, most certainly. It's been tough going for all the bowlers on both sides. Lofted sweetly by Vaibhav. But there is Waqas out there. And that will conclude a very steady over from Rahman Gul. 102 for 3. Adnan Kaisar into his third over. He's taken a bit of a hammering. 108 required of the last 9 overs. Exactly 12 runs per over. Down the leg side, well, extras. That is certainly going to help Emirates NBD along.
Yeah, that's one thing you cannot afford there. You cannot let the extras pile up. Adnan Kaisar is being hammered. He's got an economy of 13. Well, and also a start of the third over is not an ideal. That's going down the leg side. He got it completely wrong. That way, you can see that he's trying to keep his hand dry. Oh, beautiful delivery. That's where you need to be. Great ball.
Playing off the back foot. Adnan Kaisar pushing it through. He's not getting a lot of response from the surface. So he's relying on his experience. Mixing the ball. Mixing the pace of the ball up. Vaibhav needs to get on the front foot. Once again trying to force it by standing in the crease. That's not going to help. And what will certainly help is dot balls for Gymkhana. It looks like he hasn't warmed up properly. Trying to get his shoulders going, his arms going. This time hoiked onto the leg side. Plenty of cover out there. But it's a big boundary. And they'll take 2.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That the boundaries is huge, especially the square of the wicket where you can purchase 1s and 2s. So that's more important, that you need to keep that scoreboard ticking. So what you have to do for that is look for those cheeky shots. Play it slightly slow so that you can get 2 runs. That's something you need to be working on. It's a smart cricket that when you're chasing big total, these 2s are very handy.
And that dot ball pressure will build on Hamad more than Vaibhav, because he knows he is the key player. He's gotten off to a start. He has that ability to clear the fence. He needs to be very intelligent in how he reads the match situation. As long as he's there, NBD have hope. Cut away. Through the fielder, Uzair giving chase. And the ball wins the race. Well, they have hope because he can hit shots like that, Hamad Ahmed.
I was just wondering why they took out their ace bowler. Mohammad Adil was doing nothing wrong, but over here, just getting it slightly wrong. And the ball wins the race, teasing the fielder. He did well, but could not just pull it back. Oh, all your hard work goes in vain.
Wonderful camera work there. Nicely done, lads. And nicely played, Hamad Ahmed. So they've got that boundary they needed. Only 8 runs off the over, so it's not too bad. He goes for the cut again, finds the gap again. Tashfeen gets a boot on it. Well, that has saved a couple of runs, so not bad. Nelson on the board at the end of 12 overs. Rahman Gul into his third over. And Hamad, well, disappointed with himself. Yeah, you have to hit that same ball over extra. You have the capability, young man. Why go across the line? He's not really turning the ball, Rahman Gul, just pushing it through, sliding it through. This time he hits the pull shot. There is a sweeper out there. Misfield! Mohammad Adil, have to be careful. Less than 100 required now. This match is going to go right down to the wire. And you can see The body language of the Gymkhana fielders, they look concerned.
Well, they're still holding this game on because this man is delivering well. What a great bowling it's been from Rahman Gul. At difficult conditions, he's contained runs. He's yet to get hit with the boundary. Haven't got hit any single boundary.
Steps out and it goes up. Keeper chasing it and just beyond his reach. There was no one at mid-wicket. And they have scampered for 2.
Well, that was long way up in the air, but you need to give credit to the keeper. You have to run all the way and having the helmet on. It's really difficult to judge the ball when you have the helmet on and the pads and you're under the lights. Give him some credit. Shout out to the keeper.
Syed Hasnan Raza might have tweaked his neck there, but he's a super athlete, absolutely well described, Abid. They need to bring that mid-wicket fielder perhaps in, not at this stage of the game. Rahman Gul, well, the point you made about him, they've utilized him correctly in this game. Batting in the top 4. Beautiful cut shot, but once again Syed Asher is in there quickly. The way he's bowling, I think Rahman Gul can give them a complete 4-over spell. Cover for one of the fast bowlers or maybe even for Adnan Kaisar. He's not had a great day with the ball in hand. Useful cricketer. Contributes in all facets of the game. Bat, ball or in the field.
Just a firm push. That's what you need to do. This is where you'll get to. That's how you need to do it. Excellent batting. They're getting those 2 runs.
Well, once again, the deep cover is more towards extra. Some of these tactics just don't make sense to me. If you have him in the orthodox position, that would only be 1. 3 doubles in the over so far. Sliced in the air, just dropping in front of the point fielder. Brilliant bowling from Rahman Gul. 117 for 3. Adnan Kaisar in. Oh, it's flighted towards long on and dropping in front. Well, somehow Webber is hanging in there, as is Hamad. They're hitting a lot of aerial shots, but not finding the fielders. They're missing the fielders.
Well, it's just that maybe Hamad got out of the rhythm. He might need a little bit of timing on the ball. He need to wait slightly. He's played an exceptional role here. While chasing over 200 runs, it's never easy. But he's taken the challenge. Now the things is getting slightly out of the hand when the required run rate is 13.5.
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder, that's for sure. And Rahman Gul's spell might be the difference. He's given them very, very crucial overs. Adnan Kaisar, none for 35 on the day. And a big swipe across the line. Hamad is looking for the boundaries here. But he's not targeting the right areas. He's aiming for the big leg side boundary. In the first half of this innings, he was smoking them over extra cover. He needs to try to do that again. Bottom edge, cut away to short third for 1. He's 25 runs away from what would be a remarkable knock. And he needs to hang in there for the side. 91 needed of 6.5 overs.
Well, if he can make it, he'll certainly be a hero of the day. Now 14 runs required is slightly over. Steps out, hits it over the umpire. Umpire looking for the guard. What a great shot. That's how you need to accompany Hamad, who's struggling to middle the ball. Weber, absolutely brilliant.
Well, somebody get umpire Vipin Singh a helmet. Sparkling shot there from Weber. Just skipping down the track. Made it a half volley. And whoa, watch out, sir. Very close indeed.
Well, as much as close as Samir was inside the com box and the ball was hit.
Once again, a repeat of the shot, but not a repeat of the result. Good fielding by Rahman Gul. He's everywhere tonight.
Well, what I like approach of Rahman, that he know that from the first delivery, the batter is going downtown. He kept himself slightly proactive there. He saw the batter is charging. He left a little early, so he could have saved the boundary. Now, saving these 4 makes a lot of difference in the game.
Yeah, he was on the move and in fact covered for the long on fielder. Super active, super athlete Rahman Gul. Hard cut shot, misfield by Asher. But they'll pick up one. Another steady over. Fruitless spell for him. None for 42 on the night in difficult bowling conditions. 125 for 3. Uzair Haider being reintroduced into the attack. I think he'll bowl his complete spell. 15th, 17th and 19th. And they need somebody to just keep it tight, hit that block hold consistently. He has that ability. Produced a brilliant innings with the bat. 70 in quick time. But now they need his bowling quality here, Abid.
Well, I think the planning from the captain, you need to give him some credit. It's been a brilliant planning. In the middle, he used the bowlers really well while he was shot with one bowler. Shahan getting injured there, and then he had to bowl with the spinners no matter what. But in the end, now he kept his tank safe with 3 overs of Uzair Haider and 2 overs from Mohammad Adil. Will take them really to the safest zone.
Trying to force that away, Hamad. He's just lost a bit of the flow he had in his batting. Must be tired legs for him. He's been there right from ball 1. Run hard between the wickets. Those quick 2s. Maybe his energy is slightly drained here. And Weber, he needs to contribute now. Some big hits required.
Yeah, they just need to control the required run rate, which is just going up and over. Really need to play some sensible game.
Forced off the back foot. They're only picking up 1. Singles are perfectly fine for Gymkhana. Just don't concede boundaries.
Yeah, but I think over here single is not hurting the team. Emirates NBD. What is hurting them is boundaries. But I think from here it will be really hard for these 2 batters to get easy boundaries, because you have up against Uzair Haider, likes of Mohammad Adil, who's got 2 overs. Tashfeen got 1. Rahman Gul got 1 over. Oh, banged it shot. And that's down the leg side. Called it wide by Shami maybe.
right idea, lacked the execution. It was just going down the leg side. And there you can see Uzair also furiously trying to keep the ball dry. The dew has been such a big nuisance tonight. We've had to change a couple of balls already. And that plays into the batter's hands as well. Harder ball. Pulled away. And deep mid wicket will not catch up to it. Priceless boundary for NBD. Hamad moves into the 80s.
Well, now it's where you need boundaries, and Hamad was struggling to get one. He got it one, now he looks better. He's struggling to play on the offside to get the boundary. This time he got the loose, pulls it away on the onside. He looks very comfortable when he's playing on the onside, but that cut shot when he's getting those singles, and I think the plan from Tashfeen, it's working, that he want him to play the cut shot, which was just giving him singles and doubles. You have got a fielder at backward point deep.
Down the leg side, attempted Yorker. Another wide. So just getting these extra bonuses from Gymkhana. And on that pull shot, Hamad was ready. He had already tried the bouncer. He was on the back foot waiting for it. Nicely put away. And this is going to be a thriller of a finish here. Monday evening at the ICCA Academy. Some brilliant Arabian Cricket League action once again. Back-to-back humdingers. Once again, that cut shot like Abid mentioned. They're going to push for two here. Only one. Ahmad is just a bit tired now. Understandable. Who will be the hero for NBD? Can Hamad take them across the finish line? He's just stretching his right hamstring here. Must have lost a lot of fluid. Running hard between the wickets, batting right from ball number one. It's quite humid out there as well, a muggy evening. So certainly he's done a lot to keep his side in the game. Beaten outside off. Good change of pace there from Uzair. Nicely mixing it up. And Webb just admonishing himself. Well, he's practicing the pull shot to a ball that's so wide outside off. I don't think that's a great idea. Look to work it behind point through the covers. There is a deep third in place. He's very square. But on this outfield, you have a good chance to hit the fence. Down the leg side once again. Off the pad. Brilliant keeping by Syed Hasnan. Keeps it to a dot ball. And that's the end of the over. 134 for 3. And to take you through for the final 5, I'm going to entrust it in the hands of Samir Yunus and Abid Ibrahim.
Just a perfect time when we have that crunch game, and 15 required, 30 balls, 76, and that's flung in the air. Well, Samir, that's for you. Welcome into the com box.
It was as if Hamad Ahmad was waiting for two things, a fast bowler and me to come in, and he's absolutely hammered that over covers. How do you play a shot like that? Look at those wrists at work, absolutely magical, isn't it? And to get it all the way up there and over the line, you have to be a really, really good batter. So welcome 6 to begin things here for Hamad Ahmad. He's batted really well, kept his team in the game. 70 of 29, well, greater feats have been achieved in this game.
Well, I tell you, this tournament has been a humdinger. We saw 200 runs, we saw close fights, we saw the game teams galleon winning the match just by 1 run. We saw some magical knocks. And just one more we are witnessing here, which is getting and fighting. It's a battle, I tell you, for him. 88 for he scored a 47 and not giving up. What a match.
Those eyes filled with determination of Hamad Ahmed. He wants to finish things off for his team here. Again, looking for that big swing. All he gets is that inside half of the bat. Just a single to long on. They pulled things back a little bit, Dubai Gymkhana, in the last 5 overs, especially with their spinners. Didn't allow Hamad Ahmed especially to hit those big shots, kept him quiet. But now this is a very important phase of the game. Fast bowlers have gone for a few. Muhammad Adil here, this couple of overs that he's going to bowl are going to be the make or break for Dubai Gymkhana here. If they can keep them quiet for a couple more overs, it might just be too late for Emirates NBD to chase this down.
Well, absolutely, I'm with you on that. Credit must be given to Dubai Gymkhana. They have one bowler shot. They lost Mohammad Sihan early and they made it out still by working with Adnan Kesar, who's gone for some runs, but they kept belief on him. He bowled slightly here and there. An average spell today, going for plenty, over 40. But I think considering the total on board, that is fine to be called.
Yeah, Ahmad Ahmed would be wishing he had one more batter who could go along at his pace. Would have been much different story here. Vaibhav and before that Lahirum Alwat are really struggling with their strike rates. Oh, that's a good length delivery. You can't do much when it's being bowled there. They will get a single. And they won't mind this, Dubai Gymkhana. They'll be happy to give away those singles. It's the boundaries that they need to cut off. They've done a decent job so far in the last few overs. Even though Hamad Ahmed has gone so well, 90 or 49 for him, they've still managed to stem the flow of those boundaries. And that's why it's looking a little out of hand now for Emirates NBD Cricket Club, unless, of course, some power hitting comes out of the bat of Vaibhav and those to follow after him.
And I think for Dubai Gymkhana, they have done everything right, but they have been failed to pick up wickets at the right time. That's the reason they are just fighting still.
And it could hurt them. They bowled in good areas, but those wickets haven't come by, as you rightly pointed out, Abid. And towards the business end of an innings, when you have wickets in hand as a batting team, that's one of the best assets you can have. You can go for those big shots. You can take a couple of risks without worrying too much. Yes, we've got batters to come in and take that responsibility. Vaibhav clearly struggling here and he's not very happy with himself. Yes, he was the hero with the ball, but can he be the hero with the bat tonight? He needs to get a couple of big shots away here. Take the pressure off Hamad Ahmed, who's been doing all the heavy lifting by himself. Last ball of this over, Muhammad Adil. Can he finish well?
Yeah, it's always tricky when you're bowling the last ball. That decides how your over goes. Still not bad, but this time he bowls it and heaves it on the onside. There's a protection. The sweeper comes in and they'll take two, but must be given credit the way Hamad is running. He's fit, still doing a great job. 145 for 3 at the end of 16.
Well, that was a very loose delivery there by Huzair Haider. He hasn't looked himself today. And in fact, it goes for a 4. So a loosener to start off and a boundary. 4 off wides. Not the best way to go when you're defending 65 off overs. Yes, there's plenty to get, but still, you can't be complacent, especially with Haider, with Hamad Ahmed going so well there. Yes, that's more of a keeper's fault, wasn't it? Should have picked it up a bit more comfortably.
150 comes up. Never mind how you get it. Jose trying but too many things at once. That's where he need to be. Let's hit straight to covers, and that's maybe a chance of a run out, but it's an exceptional running. You got to give credit to this man.
Yeah, really, Hamad Ahmed, very impressive today. It's not just those big strokes, it's not just those power strokes. He's also run very well between the wickets. Every time it's gone into the deep, he's challenged the fielder, run the first one harder, and come back for his second. Really made a match of this now, Hamad Ahmed. That's been hammered away down the leg side. There is a fielder, but I don't think he can cut it off. Yes, it goes away for a boundary. A few more of those, and Emirates NBD will believe that they can get over the line here. This is turning out to be a cracker of a finish.
Swing of the bat. That flow was needed here. What a match we are having here. The fight is on. He's not giving up. 96 of 51 deliveries. Now we are talking.
He's on 96, and I can assure you he's not thinking too much about that 100 of his. What he really wants is to get his team over the line. 54 of 22. Not impossible in this format. We've seen bigger targets being chased down. And as long as he's there, Emirates NBD have a simmer of hope that they can get over the line. Oh, looks to cut that. Little too close to do it. And it's a precious dot ball for Dubai Gymkhana. They'll need a few more of those. And more importantly, they want to see the back of this man. Hamad Ahmed, what a champion innings this has been. Really kept Emirates NBD in the game almost single-handedly. Every other batter has struggled out here, but he's looked like he's batted on a different wicket tonight.
Well, he made a match out of it. All you need to do, get over the line. Oh, that hit him. That hit him. Oh, he says, okay. Well, that's a good sign. He's on his feet. But somebody need to go and do the conclusion check.
Yeah, never a good sight to see someone getting hit on the head. That was flush on the helmet, wasn't it? Good bounce if I was there. Well directed. Took his eyes away when hitting that shot. That's probably why it hit him. They want to get a quick checkup done there. I hope he's not feeling dizzy, because those are not good signs. But he seems all right. He's a strong lad. He's a big lad. It's always a danger when you get hit on the head. Best to have yourself checked up. Ask a few questions. What's your name? Where do you live? What is this country? A few common questions.
Yeah, let me tell you those questions. A few of them that, where are you playing? And what is your name? If you just take a second to answer any of these questions, you're immediately out. You need to get medical attentions.
Yeah, they take these things very seriously, especially after that tragic passing away of a fine cricketer, Phil Hughes, still remembered around the world with fond memories. Helmets have become a bit more protective after that. Very serious precautions being taken by ICC, and protocol has changed so much. Hamad here on a 96. He won't want to walk away. He definitely won't want to walk away. He's a street fighter. And even though he's not feeling well, yeah, there you go. He'll take those gloves, he'll put them on, and he'll want to keep batting. And mind you, he's on a milestone here. If he gets his 100 here today, Abid, that'll be the third 100 of the Arabian Cricket League. Qamar Awan of Karwan and Usman Khan. Previously Usman Khan with the double 100, remember. Ahmad Khan here will be the third man to get to 100, but will he be able to get his team over the line? That is the question that everyone has on their mind. He's a fighter. He gets up again after getting hit on the head. Now, how much has that affected him? How much has that affected his game? Can he continue in the same fashion? Uzair Haider has really rattled him up. Full toss. So really contrasting deliveries there. A short one and then a full toss to follow up. It's a good thing for Hamad Ahmed right now to get off strike.
Really, the typical fast bowler's response when he bowls that short one, the next one he bowls full. A little predictable becoming now. And he's heaving on the own side. Really good news for ECC that Hamad is continuing playing. What a fighter he is. He's just around the corner to make a third 100 of this Arabian Cricket League. And of course, powered by Fan Code. What a tournament we have here. We have seen a brilliant performances, as you mentioned earlier. Well, that's been hit up in the air. Could be a chance. No, just dips in front of Waqas. And it did an exceptional job. Only single there to conclude the over. It's 158 for 3.
Right, there's been a change in the middle, and it's not with the bowling, it's with the batting. Vaibhav Singh, who was batting alongside Hamad Ahmed, seems to have picked up an injury and he's walked off, and out has come the captain Mohammad Yasir. Probably a good thing for the Emirates NBD cricket team, because Vaibhav was really struggling to get going. Mohammad Yasir, known to be a plonker of the ball, won't mind joining Hamad Ahmed here, but it's not easy. As soon as you come in to play those big shots, 52 required of 16, he can't take too much time to settle in.
Yeah, a little challenge, not little but a huge challenge against him. But I think that required 100 has just gone over the control now. The over 18 runs required. Yes, you have Hamad there, but you need someone to play a magical knock from the other end as well. It's only one end who's sparking. Oh, let's that go. That's where we were talking about. It's not easy to execute your shots when you're new to the crease.
52 of 15 required. And Mohammad Yasir, the captain of Emirates NBD, decides to leave one outside the off stump. Now, how often do you see that? Look at that. There was nowhere close to the tram line, so it's definitely not going to be a wide. And he's just left that alone. The things you see in UAE cricket. Amazing. 52 of 15 now. This is getting out of hand for Emirates NBD. Dubai Gymkhana have done a fine job. Even though they haven't picked up regular wickets, they have done a fine job in keeping things quiet. That's been hammered. I don't think he's got the distance there. Just falls short of the fielder. They do manage to cross over for a 2. These won't be enough. They need boundaries, and they need big boundaries, maximums. Unfortunately, Hamad has been starved of the strike.
Well, I'm sure that the least thing he's thinking right now is 100. He wants to make a match out of this. He wants to hit big. So he wouldn't be taking those single double to make his 100. How unlucky he is. He doesn't have a time. He doesn't have enough deliveries to enjoy and settle a little bit more, take his time. You need to fire up and risk that 100. Hamad Ahmed, what a player.
This has again been hit very hard, but this time it will be in the gap. So Mohammad Yasir finally, after 3 balls of not connecting, this time he gets under it and he deposits that throw extra cover for a much needed 4 in this over.
Yeah, that was much needed boundary there. You need, as I mentioned, the both end needs to spark here. There's nothing to look back. In every over they need at least 3 boundaries. Maximum and few boundaries. That's a kind of a challenge here. If we go down till the last over and it's 15 or 16 runs in the last over, we'll have a match out of it. That's what I wish to see. Oh, that's line belongs to the umpire and he calls it wide.
Yeah, I won't mind that Mohammad Yasir. That's a free round, so that makes it 5 runs off the last delivery, which is just 1 run less than a maximum. So they've gotten there. Now these last 2 deliveries, if they can somehow get a couple of big ones, then that requirement comes to under 40, and then in the next over, that will be the make or break over, the penultimate over of this match. That will really decide which way this match is swinging. 45 needed of just 14 balls. They can get that next over, the batting team, under 20 in the last over, then we really have a contest on our hands. That's been hammered. Will that cross the boundary or will it go straight to the fielder? It's into the fence. I think he's gotten over the line. The umpire raises his hands slowly. So we've got 1-6 and there's 1 more ball to go. 39 required of 13 balls. Do we have a match on our hands, Abid?
Well, I wish to see that. The way ECC is fighting, they deserve to get this game in control and get closer and closer. What a match we're having. Just 1 hit and you're back in the game. 18 required. And that's, I say that if you keep hitting those 6s, we'll have a match out of it. I'm repeating myself again. If you get 15 runs in the final over, that's where it's gettable. 15-16 runs.
Yeah, we've seen more being chased down. So 39 of 13. Real good match on our hands. And now this ball is a very important one. Muhammad Adil will want anything but a boundary. A single, a couple, 3 runs he won't mind, but he doesn't want to give a boundary. Last ball of his spell. Mohammad Yasir, the captain of Emirates NBD, will face this. Oh, and he's missed that. In fact, he's taken the outside edge. Wow. We were talking about how he's going to be content with a single or a couple, but he's picked up a wicket, and how important is that going to be in the context of this game? That's a very important delivery. He's bowled there, Muhammad Adil.
And he's picked up the wicket of the captain.
There you go, getting a advantage at the toe end of the bat. And the keeper didn't miss. It's just an exact delivery where you can risk it. Either you will go for a maximum or you might end up picking a wicket. That's what Mohammad Adil did. It's 12 runs for Mohammad Yasir. The captain departs. It's 171 for 5.
Uzair will bowl this important over. Oh, that's been hammered by Hamad Ahmad, but has it gone straight to the hands? Oh, and he's dropped it. How costly will that drop be? They just get a single, but have Dubai Gymkhana given a chance to Hamad Ahmad, and will they rue it? Will they regret it come the end of this game? Here's a batter who'll get do serious damage to you, and he's already done some serious damage. And they've dropped him. The good thing in all of that is he's off strike. And the new batter, Akhlaq, is on strike. Full hit behind the bowler. But it'll just be a single. Good fielding there. At long off. It's not going to be enough, these singles. They need a big over. They need at least 20 off this over. 37 required now of 10 balls. They need to bring it down to less than 20 of that last over. That's when they'll believe they can do something of this game. Pressure can do funny things in this T20 format. It's a wet ball. Tired fielders. Again, not in full control. That's taken the edge. In fact, it will go for a 6. That's a huge shot. He wasn't in complete control of it. He mistimed it almost. And that's gone way, way behind the bowler. Hamad Ahmad, what a deserving century this is. 104 not out to him. Ahmed Khaja there is extremely impressed with this innings. What a fine knock this has been by Hamad Ahmad. This game was going nowhere. They lost a cluster of wickets early on, chasing 210, but Hamad Ahmad has kept them alive in this game. Again in the air, and again to the boundary. We were talking about how important this over is, and he's brought it down to 27 required of 8 balls. He is making a match out of this, Hamad Ahmad. What a player, what an evening, what a game.
Well, he's nailing it. He wants nothing but a victory. He made himself count tonight. What a clinical knock this is. Remarkable efforts. He stood tall and now tonguing all over the ground. That bat in his hand, it seems to be a sword, not a willow.
Zair, probably the two most important deliveries he's bowled today. Again, he's got the outside edge. It's gone high up in the air. I don't think the fielder will get under it. And they've had a slip. All sorts of things happening here. They'll only get a run. They needed to get a couple there. But they'll only get a run. And Hamad Ahmad, the only batter who's looked comfortable tonight, at least for Emirates NBD, is off strike. Well, 26 required of 7. Now, if this goes for a maximum from the bat of Akhlaq, there will be 20 required of the last one. I was outside Abid a while ago, and the team captain just screamed out to the batters and said, just get 2 overs of 20 runs. Will it be the last 2 overs? They've gotten 14 in this. For 6 goals here now, we have a real game on our hands. Oh, I couldn't get over it. Just hammered down to the field at deep extra. Oh, they'll go for a second. They will risk it. In fact, the keeper has made a mess of it. But they'll only get 2. So 24 required of the last over.
What a match we have here. It cannot get any better. Slightly higher required 24. Every delivery must go for the boundary. That's kind of the occasion we are at.
Well, I'll tell you what. We just found out from the umpire that there's going to be 5 runs penalty. In fact, it was a penalty given because there were 5 fielders inside.
5 fielders inside?
No, you're getting it wrong. It's a new rule. I know you will shake there. You're behind the time. One
Yes.
fielder comes in. What a contest it is.
Well, a bit of misinformation there. Apologies. A bit of miscommunication. Yes, there will be 5 fielders inside because they're behind the over rate. That's what the new rules say. Will they pay heavily for it though? Just 3 outside the circle. In fact, just 4 outside the circle. And they have to defend 24 runs to buy Gymkhana. Tashfeen Yassin with the responsibility of defending these 24 runs. Can he do it? Hammad Ahmed, importantly for Emirates NBD, is on strike. Anything will do. 4 sixers, 6 fours. He's hit that high up in the air. I don't think it's got the distance. And it falls short of the fielder. So just get 2 runs. Will 22 needed off 5. It's getting out of hand for Emirates. They needed the early boundary in the over.
Well, what a match it is. The result doesn't count, but the performance does. For the man who stood from the ball 1 right till the end and still running like hooks. Great batting this is. You need to give some credit to this man, Hammad Ahmed. What a remarkable performance he's put on. Still the game is on. You need 22-5. Full toss, couldn't get it.
No, if you asked him what ball would you like in this delivery, he would have asked for a full toss. And even though he got it, he couldn't really capitalize. Yes, they're disappointed, the keeper with that disappointed face, but he won't mind because 20 off 4, it's becoming out of reach for Emirates. But we've seen so many hundreds in losing causes. But this one of the best I've seen. What a fine innings this has been. This man just didn't give up.
Well, he's out of breath. He's tired. He's played some outstanding shots and still fighting. The match is still on. They need 2 sixes and 2 boundaries and no ball. That would be a no ball and a free hit. We'll get something to spice up the game.
Well, there's a bit of drama left in this game. Don't go away. Don't go to sleep just yet. It's a no ball. They'll get that 1 run and they'll also get a free hit. So there's no chance he can get out now. Where were you bowling that, Tashfeen Yassin? In fact, it was a wicket, but because it was a no ball.
Well, I tell you, if that would have been slightly middled, you would have a different result and the game would have been.
Imagine you got a 6 off that no ball.
There is a free hit now. We might get this time. All they need is 6. Nothing less than that. Throws
wild swing.
A wild swing there. Throws a kitchen sink at it. Didn't get it connected. But tell you what, if he would have connected that one, we would have seriously had to bring the new balls. But yeah, I think the game has just got slipped out of the hand from ECC.
Tashfeen Yassin will be a relieved man. Had he gone for a 6 in that ball, would have been very nervous. Now he can breathe easy. And that should be the end of it. It will go for a 4, but the game is now out of reach. They could have drawn it had they 3 sixes and they would have seen a super over, but with that boundary, with that 4, as long as Tashfeen Yassin bowls a couple of legal deliveries, no balls, no wides, this game is done and dusted. How sad for Hammad Ahmed. How very sad for him. 117 of 63, chasing 210, and he still can't get his team over the line. A real heroic effort from him.
What else he could do? If someone can score 100, the other rest need to chip in. There's been some batters from the team ECC who played with 100 strike rate. That is what hurting them. It's up in the air and man getting underneath it and he drops it down. Vakas, well, it does not really matter because the game is in the kitty.
Attempted it with one hand. Wanted to finish it off in some style. Almost caught it actually. Did get locked into his hand. At the last moment just slipping off. Look at that. A one-handed effort. Not bad. Bit of swag there. Right then, last ball coming up. And quite fittingly, Hammad Ahmed will face it. Let's see how many he can get. A slow ball. He makes a good connection. Does that go past the fence? Yes, it does. A couple of bouncers into the boundary. And oh, what an innings this has been. They came so close, Emirates NBD. In fact, they crossed the 200 mark too, but eventually they fall short of just 9 runs and they win. And Dubai Gymkhana win by 8 runs. But I'll tell you what, take nothing away from Ahmad Ahmed. 1, 2, 3, a superbly put up knock. Everyone, including the opposition, they appreciate it. They give him handshakes, they give him hugs because they know what a fine show he has put on. Abid, we have been entertained.
Oh, what a match he's given us. What entertaining innings this has been. Look at that. Everyone appreciates his knock. He kept that fight on. He didn't give up. And until the last moment, he was right there in scoring 123 runs and remained unbeaten. This knock will be remembered for a long time, but just unlucky. Couldn't get enough from the rest. Lehru Malwatta there, scoring 21 of 23. And his partner, Vaibhav Singh, also scored a below than 100 strike rate. That's where the game got out of the grip. Otherwise, the man with that helmet, the flag of India on his head, Ahmad Ahmed, could have finished the game. It has been a wonderful, entertaining evening. What else you could have asked? These all evenings that we've been here has been fantastic. Look at the bowling. One man making a lot of difference here. It was Rahman Gul, who given only 18 in these 3 overs, but why not bowl again for the 4th? Well, that remains questionable there. But Mohammad Sehan, he bowled very well. He got a wicket, gave 6 runs only in 1 over, but could not complete because of the injury. But otherwise, the rest of the bowlers has gone for a slight bit of a run. But Mohammad Adil was the bowler who picked up 3 wickets and given away 33. And at the end, they given a little more extras, 16 runs, where they need to work on. Well, that's a match summary for you. Uzair had scoring the firing runs up top there, scored 70 of 31 deliveries. Syed Ashar also gave him a good company there. Syed Hasnain Raza was the cameo, played the cameo role, and that executed 30 runs not out. Was a game-changing inning there. Santosh Play, what a spell he bowled. Picked up 4, given 40, but it was something, he was unplayable at times. Well, if you talk about the performance, I would rank Ahmad Ahmed right at the top. What a knock he played. 1, 2, 3, not out, and scored 6 of just 65 deliveries. Remarkable knock. Mohammad Adil with 3 wickets. Pick off the bowler for the Dubai Gymkhana. So Dubai Gymkhana registering the victory with just the margin of 8 runs, and this is the game which is lined up for tomorrow. Infusion in Verji Lions taking on Rajkot Thunders. That would be 8 November and match number 24 here at ICC Academy Oval Grounds in Dubai, and it is ICC Academy Arabian Cricket League powered by FanCode, and of course the title sponsor is SkyExchange.net. So that's us from the Combox. We'll see you tomorrow with more actions, but before we go, we'll have the post-match presentation party to see who claims the player of the match. We have few performances to be claimed. We'll go down to Ahmed Khwaja when we come back from the break.
हेलो चेक चेक
Audio test, audio test. Oof, inni dahshat. 1 second. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome everyone to the post-match presentation of the SkyX.net ICC Academy Arabian Cricket League powered by FanCode. Before we begin, firstly, we would like to thank the ICC Academy and all the administration involved behind the scenes for its support in hosting this level of a tournament. We would also like to thank our sponsors, our title sponsor SkyX.net, our official streaming partner FanCode, and our event partner TCM. In the 23rd match of the tournament, Dubai Gymkhana has defeated Emirates NBD by just 8 runs. What an incredible run chase we saw there. Commencing ahead, we will now be announcing the name of the player of the match. The award will be presented by Mr. Iftikhar Ali, our match referee. And the player of the match award goes to Uzair Haider for his 70 of just 31 deliveries as he set the platform for a massive score. But full credit goes to Hamad Ahmed of Emirates NBD as well. A sparkling innings, just couldn't get his team over the line. उज़ैर फिर आप टीम में वापस आया, फिर एक धुएंधार इनिंग खेली पावर प्ले में 70 ऑफ 31, लेकिन 100 नहीं किया, थोड़ा सा अफसोस तो होगा।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम जी, ऐसा ही है, वो बस ग्लव्स की वजह से थोड़ा बैट घूम गया था तो इसलिए मिस हिट होगी।
हम सुन रहे हैं, आपने कहा इंशाल्लाह 114 की ओपनिंग पार्टनरशिप थी, फिर 210 पे कंक्लूड करना थोड़ा सा मिस हो गया।
ऐसे ही है, वो मेंटेन नहीं किया, जो भी जा रहा था वो 6 के लिए जा रहा था, क्योंकि सिंगल डबल का वहाँ बनता था, थोड़ा लेके चलते तो अच्छा स्कोर हो जाना था, लेकिन फिर भी अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह अल्लाह ने इज़्ज़त दी।
और हमने देखा था बॉलिंग के वक्त काफ़ी डिफिकल्ट हो रहा था, ये नमी की वजह से बॉल ग्रिप करना और फास्ट बॉलर्स के लिए भी बहुत मुश्किल आ रही थी।
ऐसे ही है, फास्ट बॉलर की मुश्किल आ रही थी, इसलिए थोड़ा सा दिमाग से लिया काम, लेकिन फिर भी रन उन्होंने अच्छा खेला मार्डी ने, तो बाकी अल्लाह ने इज़्ज़त दी है।
और ये दूसरा प्लेयर ऑफ द मैच अवार्ड आपका है इस टूर्नामेंट का, ये किसके नाम करना चाहेंगे? कोई नया नाम लेना?
जी जी, ये मैं अपनी छोटी बहन के नाम करना चाहूँगा।
क्या बात है, वेल डन उज़ैर।
थैंक यू।
Well, that is Uzair Man, another powerful, sparkling performance, taking Dubai Gymkhana over the line. Another victory for them. That's all from the Arabian Cricket League for tonight. Join us tomorrow for more live action from the ICC Academy. We'll see you then. Good night.